So, hello guys, welcome back to another live stream in our channel, and we have a lot to talk about here. I am joined with Isaac, and as you know, he's one of our very strong supporters here. I'm getting some hi, hello from our chat. So yeah, there's a lot to actually talk about, especially last weekend's game, and last weekend's game is super interesting. Uh, we saw that Palace managed to get a nil-nil draw. I think Isaac was the only optimistic person over here. A lot of us were very pessimistic. We were really up and ready to actually to win that game. The chance that Andre Santos had towards the end of the game was also quite interesting in that it would have given Chelsea 3 points. But when we look at our top opponents' fixtures, we are seeing like they are having very tough fixtures. Liverpool are traveling away to Newcastle on Monday. Chris, yes, hello, hello, hello. It's been a while since you joined us here. Okay, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you very much. We also appreciate you for being a very huge fan of our channel. So, just to start, thank you, Redeem, also for joining us. Yeah, thank you so much. And we want to actually talk a lot. There is an update on Xavi Simons, his transfer. There is update on Tosin. There is update on Garnacho. It has now been confirmed that Manchester United and Chelsea are now communicating to finalize the deal with Garnacho. That is what we are getting from Matt Law. The hierarchy of Chelsea and the hierarchy of Manchester United are actually in good terms. It is actually clear that Omar Berrada is actually quite close with the Chelsea sporting director. So it's a deal that is actually going to happen. Xavi Simons, it is now being said that the deal is almost 90%. And in my opinion, I really want this player. I really want both of them. After seeing Gittens, I think Gittens can be a good player, but I think Gittens needs to be given some time. So I'm very open. I know that we can't rely heavily on Cole Palmer this season if we want to do something. That's why I'm so inclined towards this Xavi Simons signing. And the question is, what about the role of what do we expect about the coming of who's going to replace Colwyn? What is the situation with Tosin? What is the situation with Fofana? That is all of that you're going to talk about today. Up the Chelsea, and I hope everybody can hear me. Today, I will give even opportunities to people from the chat to actually join us. So, yes, Isaac, how are you? Yes. Mehdi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. There is a lot to talk about. There is the goalless draw about Crystal Palace. And now we are getting reports that Xavi Simons is 90% done. It's just a matter of when it is actually happening. The signing of Garnacho is also in the final stages and it can be announced anytime. We are hearing that Garnacho has actually rejected Bayern Munich. We are also hearing things that Ben Chilwell is also about to leave the club. The signing of Raheem Sterling to Fulham is also close to happening. We are also hearing rumors that Aston Villa might sweep in for Nicholas Jackson. Nicholas Jackson can actually have his much needed reunion with Unai Emery. What's your opinion?
Okay, I had no idea. You telling me, oh, this is the first time hearing it. But it's nice to hear. Personally, I think first of all, looking at that game against Palace, we really need Xavi Simons. Because it looks like Palmer is our only creative player right now. Because like if you look at the wings, we just have speedsters. We don't really have creators. And the problem with Chelsea is, or any team in general, once you stop the creators, you kind of stop the main hub of the system. So I guess having Xavi Simons gives us two players now. And if you think of Xavi Simons and Palmer on the same pitch, them interchanging maybe in the right wing and the 10, they're both left-footed. I think it's great. Garnacho, personally, I think I have mixed feelings about the signing. I think he is a player who gets a lot of shots off, which I think we really need more of. So that could be a good thing. but he still needs to work on his final end product. So my only fear with that is if Chelsea fans expect him to be the finished product in one season. I think it'll take a season for him to get better. 2-1 Sterling, man, finally, bro. Like, I love Chilwell. Like, you won us a Champions League, but like it was about time. Sterling can just go, and Jackson. Yeah, I think it depends how much Villa give us. If we are able to get 50, I'm more than happy, man. Genuinely.
Yeah, and what is your opinion? I'm hearing that Xavi Simons is 90% done. That is what I'm seeing from X and Garnacho, and I am so happy because one thing I have to say about Garnacho is that he is a good player if he's playing with a lot of confidence, if he's getting support from the manager and the team. There is a talent there. There is a talent there. He has played in the Premier League and he looks like he's choosing to play for Chelsea. He doesn't want to go to Bayern Munich. He doesn't want to go anywhere. And I think Garnacho might be that signing that shocks everybody because he's that signing that nobody wants. He's that signing that people don't have any expectation with. But I think there's a good player there. I think there's a player there who can do something. And Xavi Simons, as I always keep on saying, I'm hearing that Nkunku is close to joining Bayern Munich, which will be a very good deal for him. I think probably, some things about some players is probably that their best game, they're going to play it in Germany. So it looks the same for Nkunku. But now, with the entry of Xavi Simons, I am seeing a number 10 who's able to carry the ball. You see, what we suffered last game is that Crystal Palace sat in a very structured manner, structured 5-2-3 structure. I did an analysis on that. And we didn't have a player who's able to take the ball, beat his man, and open up space. And the only players we were relying on were the wingers. And when you look down the left, Gittens was so ineffective in that. And Neto, who's so good at the right, was actually sometimes even finding himself getting doubled on. Now, imagine if we have a player like Xavi Simons occupying that left side. What you notice is that this is a player who likes to take on players. So he will drag more players out of position and open up spaces for Chelsea. So what I have to say is that the signing of Xavi Simons is what I'm really looking forward to. I'm really looking forward to. And Wedege has something to say. Sunday's game exposed both João Pedro and that the Ipswich striker are not Nicholas Jackson's level. It's going to be a huge mistake to sell Jackson, who is on another level, who brings out. I will disagree with that because we've actually lost games where Jackson was present, and you cannot judge João Pedro based on one game. He has been terrific throughout the preseason. He has been fabulous even during the Club World Cup. So I cannot just slash everything on João Pedro. I think we are being very harsh towards the team. And this is a Crystal Palace team that even gave Liverpool a run for their money. They scored 2 goals against Liverpool. They scored a goal against Manchester City and made it so difficult. So it's not going to be easy to play Crystal Palace. So what do you have to say about the news, the Crystal Palace draw and the signing of Xavi Simons and Garnacho, Isaac?
Hi, Tom. So, if you remember our last game last season against Nottingham Forest, after that game we had a live. You, me, I think our friend Mert, and our friend from Denmark, the one who is sending some text there. Yeah. And if you remember, I was saying in that live that I want Chelsea to buy a player as Garnacho. And many people was disagree with that idea. I know many people doesn't want about Garnacho. I don't know why. What is the reason they are giving to do not like Garnacho at Chelsea? But remember, if you go on SofaScore and you see some statistics of Garnacho, and you know the system Garnacho was playing, the system of Ruben Amorim, the system of Ten Hag, and that guy was so influenced in Manchester United game with those coach. For me, I believe that if we got this same Garnacho, not Garnacho who has to improve in some area of the game. No, this same Garnacho in Chelsea squad, he will bring a lot. I'm confident with that. And I've seen the tweet of Fabrizio this evening, who is saying that we are advancing well in the talks to sign Garnacho. Let's bring Garnacho. And what Gittens has shown us against Crystal Palace, I've seen that he has a lot of to improve. And he himself, he realized that. That's why you see during this break, this holiday, he was still training, personal training. He knows that the Premier League is not like Bundesliga. So let's bring Garnacho to help Gittens, and I think Garnacho will bring something new at Chelsea, I'm sure. Regarding Xavi Simons, the only thing is strange in this transfer is that yesterday it was 85% done. Today it's 80% done. I don't know what kind of sales is that, who is going like a battery charger. So now we are at 80. Hopefully tomorrow it will be 100. Xavi Simons is a good player. So I'm just thinking, what I'm thinking is that Xavi Simons is going to give us something different than Cole Palmer. Because what I'm expected to him is what Palmer is giving to the squad coming from the right and coming from the right to the left side, and that shot of Palmer, that is the strength of Cole Palmer. I'm thinking is Xavi Simons is going to give us the same strength when he will be coming from the left to the right side. So this is what I'm thinking. I don't know how Maresca is going to utilize him. I don't know if Maresca is going to play him as a left winger. So that those questions are still happening in my head, knowing how we are going to utilize Xavi Simons. Because you remember when we recruit Pedro Neto. Pedro Neto at Wolverhampton, he was mostly playing at the right as right winger. But when we bought him at Chelsea, we bought him as a left winger. You see? So that is Maresca. He can decide to change.
He does play as to interrupt you. Sorry to interrupt you, but Pedro Neto plays down the right majority of the time. Yeah, the player who was supposed to play down the left was Jadon Sancho and Mudryk. Then we saw the Mudryk situation, and now Chelsea went to sign Gittens, who I had I didn't agree with that signing. I was like, if that is what the club wants, it is what the club wants. But because I also did my pre-match analysis of Gittens, and I said that he's too raw, and everybody saw that he was raw. In my opinion, I said that we should always go back to our feeder club. That is Brighton. We should have paid that amount of money and signed Mitoma from Brighton. Mitoma would have done miracles down that left. That was the winger that I always wanted. I didn't understand why we didn't get Mitoma. I think Brighton would be so open to sell to us Mitoma. I will take Mitoma. In my opinion, we should have had Mitoma over Gittens, and it would have been a very good signing for Chelsea, because I think if we had Mitoma down the left, then Crystal Palace game would have been something something different. And just to cut you, Isaac, because you can hold on just a bit. There was something that Mehdi was asking about especially that particular position. Maybe.
Yeah.
Your opinion on the left-sided attack from Xavi Simons?
Um, Now, I just looked up his FBref reports, and he does look like more of a creative player than really someone who can dribble. But I will say, to get really high dribbling stats, it's kind of rare in FBref because, like, I looked at Cunha, and he was still like in just the 81st percentile, and he literally dribbles all the time. So I'll give him some leniency. But I think if there's one player actually in this team who I kind of have faith in dribbling past players, I think it's really Palmer because there are times when he was down that right wing. I remember he was able to like cut inside, or he was able to take it down. He was able to take a fake shot, but being moved to the 10, it's more congested, so he can't exactly do that. So I think yes, I think Xavi Simons could do a job overall everywhere, and I think when Maresca wants to play a left-footed player on the left side, he'll have that option and someone who can actually play there with Simons. I haven't seen him too much, but I remember you told me he can play down the left. I think a better option could be playing Palmer on the right, Simons on the left, and maybe Garnacho on the Simons in the center, Garnacho on the left. And my main thing on the left side is like when we look at our wingers, none of them really shoot. You get me? Like a lot of them don't really shoot. Garnacho, you go look at his stats, he has a lot of touches in the penalty area. He has a lot of shots. So he really is more of a goal scoring winger. Yes, he may not be the most effective dribbler, but I think down the left, if we get Garnacho and if Maresca can coach him really well, I think we can get goals out of him. So now we'll have goals out of Garnacho, we'll have goals out of Pedro. Let's not forget Delap, like might also come from the bench. And we have two creators with Palmer and Simons. It looks promising on paper. My only concern is if Garnacho will get up to speed really quickly, because we have to remember he hasn't like really been training with the first team, right? Hasn't had a preseason, and off the back of a lack of confidence, it could really hurt him. But I don't know, man. If these are the players Maresca wants, I trust him. If these are the players the board wants, I'm a bit questionable.
Yeah, Wedege is here from Denmark. He has a question for Isaac.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. The only issue I have with Garnacho is I think he's going to upset the dressing room, because we saw what happened at United. The reason why they've thrown him out is because he's not a good teammate, in that he causes too much problems with the dressing room with all these social media business and I don't know what have you. And as you know, in that Chelsea, you have a very good balance, good team spirit, and in the squad. And if you have somebody coming there, hothead, being an egoist, how is that going to upset the balance of that squad? Then you're going to have, divisions within that squad. The squad will be divided, like we've seen so often in the past, where you have one side of a team is siding with one player, the other side is siding with another player, and even the third player, and you have all these divisions. And then this is how a team quickly collapses. And then manager obviously gets fired. We've seen the history of our Chelsea, how often the manager's been fired when the players throw their toys out of the pram, because player power. And this is how player power starts, when you get one bad apple, and it destroys the whole team. So I just think, unless Maresca is very, very harsh, very brutal, he seems to be quite a tough guy. To be able to maybe handle these guys to Garnacho, but these are young millionaires. These young guys from today. You can't tell them what to do. They have lawyers, they have advisors, they have I don't know, whatever. So you tell them, if the manager tells them to run today, you're going to run 3 kilometers. You say, what? I'm going to speak to my lawyer first. And the manager said, okay, get back to me. Back in those days when Jose first arrived, you know how harsh he was. He was the manager. His word was the law. But nowadays, the player's word is the law. So this nature of football, the nature of the young guys, and it's good and bad. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying that football's changed, the mentality has changed, things have moved on. Things have developed. Maybe not in my world. I'm an old guy. Maybe not in a good direction, but it's the modern times. So Maresca, he will have his hands full. He's already had his hands full. Remember last season when he created the bomb squad? That is when you create a bomb squad, when you select 4, 5, 6 players or whatever, you say, you know what, not only are you not in the squad, but you're going to go and train somewhere else, far, not even on in the club facilities. We don't want you anywhere near. When you make such a harsh decision, those are some of the big players, the Sterlings and the Chilwells, and I don't know whatever, big egos. You risk. It's like almost all or nothing. So he took that decision. He came out smelling of roses on the other end, but sometimes that can backfire on you. So yeah, I don't know. I just don't know. I just don't think 50 million for Garnacho. I think it's over the top. They say 30 million, fair, fine enough. Let him come, but 50, no way.
Just one thing I have to say is that player power can only kick in when probably the club is not performing. And number two, if there was a player who was going to ruin the dressing room, it would have probably been a player like Noni Madueke or Jackson. And you have seen the way Maresca spotted them so fast. And that's why I think that is probably one of the reasons why Noni was actually sent away. That's one thing that people don't usually get it. So I think Garnacho coming in and causing disharmony, I think it will be a stretch because he's coming in and he will be under Enzo Fernandez because he's an Argentinian. He's Argentine. So he's more likely to be under Enzo. And Enzo is the vice captain. And Enzo is usually firm. If you saw the way he dealt with Sterling, and it was his first year at Chelsea, and he was around, I think he was probably 22 or 21, and he managed to take the ball off from Sterling and give it to Palmer. I think Enzo, if there is anyone who can put Garnacho in place, it's going to be Enzo. It wouldn't even need the manager to do anything. Enzo is just enough to actually get Garnacho focused. Also, Garnacho does not have the privilege to be the only starting left winger. Neto can play down the left. Gittens can play down the left. Simons probably will be there. He can play down the left. So if he will know that if he doesn't play, he will be sold. And one thing about Chelsea is that they have so much strength selling players is because Chelsea harmonized their wage structure. The reason why we are struggling with players such as Chilwell, Raheem Sterling, and all the older players, even Fofana, it's because we signed these players on huge wages. So now you find that even a player like Palmer is a superstar, but he's probably earning 120 or 140 compared to a player like Sterling who's earning around 320. So Garnacho will also come in and streamline himself in the club's wage structure. And so if he's playing around that wage structure, if he does not perform, if he's being problematic, then I can just tell you that as sure as death itself, he will be in the market. But before you respond, I will just give Isaac an opportunity to ask you some questions.
Yeah, actually, Tyrone, you have highlighted all the points which I wanted to say about Garnacho. And you see the situation of Garnacho at Manchester United. It was like Ruben Amorim doesn't want him, and it was not easy for him to play. Like in the last 2 months of last season, he was out of the squad. So he cannot just come into Chelsea and start doing like those extra sportive things. No. Actually, up to now, I've seen how Maresca is managing the players. I'm not seeing a player who can bring some trouble around the squad. No. And coming back now to the games, I wanted Tyrone, if possible, you can share some statistics of Garnacho, so we can try to compare what Garnacho did last season to compare to some other wingers like Savinho. Yeah,
Okay.
Savinho, that's wingers from Man City.
Okay. Just a minute.
We can compare. Yes.
Yeah. Let me just acknowledge a comment here from Joseph. He says that I'm really enjoying our live chat. Up the Chelsea, Joseph from Lagos. Hello from Lagos. You can share the live stream. If we are talking about stats, then we have our stats guy here. Mehdi, what are the stats on
Yes.
Garnacho?
Let me check. I had actually just checked it a minute ago. So like Garnacho.
Go to the X. Go to especially to the XG. To the XG of
Yeah,
Garnacho.
his XG is high. That's why I said he takes a lot of shots, and this is without penalties.
Yeah.
He's in it's 0.33,
Yes.
which sounds low, but it's actually in the
Yes.
84th percentile, top 84th percentile,
Yes.
and that's why I said he takes a lot of shots.
Yes.
He takes 3.58 shots a game. That's in the 94th percentile, and non-penalty XG plus expected assisted like goals is 0.53, which is in the top 80 percentile. What he lacks
Yeah.
is creativity. So he's not someone who's gonna create you a lot of action, like chances. He's more of that player. Even his pass completion is relatively low, like 78.8%. It's the 69 percentile. It's okay. He can carry the ball in space, so like in progressive carries, 96 percentile. That's very high. Touches in the penalty box, like in attacking penalty, very, very, very high. In the top 95 percentile, 7.6 touches in the attacking penalty area per game.
Yeah.
12.21 passes recorded. So progressive passes. So he can move the team off the pitch as well to like just carries and passes, and he will be in the box to finish quite a lot of chances. So that is very promising.
Can I add to that?
Yeah.
Sure.
So now all these numbers and what have you come stats you come there, very nice, very fine, respect. But the eye test, we some of us are old school. We go by the eye test. What we see on the field, what we see from Garnacho. The guy is lazy, doesn't backtrack. And that was one of the biggest issues with Man United. Garnacho and what's the name, the captain there, Bruno, and there was another player. Don't backtrack. And how often did you see United get hit on the counter attack? Because the lazy forwards who once they lose the ball were attacking. And Garnacho, that is why Amorim dropped him. Not because he was not scoring goals or what have you, that because his work rate when he hasn't got the ball was very, very low. And with the Maresca system, where we play high up on the field with 4 attackers, those attackers, they have to defend. Otherwise, Chelsea will get overrun. And is he going to be willing to do that donkey work at Chelsea, or he's just going to sit and sulk on the bench and cause trouble?
Mehdi?
I think you do have a point that because if you go look at his defensive numbers, they are very low. You get me? None of them pop out as green. So that is a fair point, but I feel like he'll be forced to adapt to that at Chelsea because him coming to Chelsea, he's not going to be that superstar. He knows we've signed Gittins for 50. We're signing Xavi Simons for like I don't know how much. So like if Garnacho is not willing to do the work, I am very sure like Maresca won't have a problem like dropping him. Whereas in Man United, he was like the main promising man, the main young star. So like he knows whatever he can do, like they're not really gonna have anyone else they can replace him with. And we have to remember that in Man United, Garnacho kind of has to have that license because he is the one who's taking the most shots. So you don't really want your player who's your main attacking threat coming back to track, So I think sometimes that was a fair point, even a little bit. Is he lazy? I don't know. From the eye test, yeah, sometimes he can throw up his hands, but sometimes he does track back. I've seen him track back personally, at least from what I remember.
He's not lazy in attacking. And attacking, counter-attacking, all your stats you said there.
He did some clearance. I've seen myself, Garnacho did some clearance in the defense.
But
I think he's like that player who plays with the moods. It's like Jadon Sancho was.
Excellent point. Excellent.
Environment.
Yeah. It's like Jadon Sancho when he was at Chelsea. Honestly, in my opinion, I don't think that Sancho was bad at Chelsea. He was good. Actually, he just declined the salary adjustment. That is what he declined. The club wanted to retain him. He was good at Chelsea. And he was tracking back, he was running, he was defending, you could see Sancho doing something. One thing I also liked about Sancho, his first touch was good. Now with Garnacho, I have seen somebody make a statement saying, have you seen Garnacho's last 16 dribbles? Again, it's all about it's all about making a compilation. You see, if I want to say, do you want me to show you 20 Jackson shots? You
No,
see, you're
don't
going
do
to
that.
see. Yeah, you're going to see.
Leave my boy alone. Allah, what's wrong with you? Leave my Jackson alone.
We
No,
are
but
going
like
to.
Tyrone, the
Yeah.
thing is, like, at the same time, like 15 dribbles, I think he does have a point because last 15 means all the last 15. But at the same time, that's not what you expect from Garnacho. Like, you're not asking him to dribble past ringers, you're asking him to score goals. He's not that type of player. It's like we can't really look at his dribbles and say, oh, he's a bad ringer when that's not like his game. His game is mainly box poaching, shooting from range, kind of bringing the team forward. He's not going to be that guy to get past a player or two. So I think we can cut him some slack on that because that's not really a strong aspect of him.
But I think it's his circumstances. Sorry to interrupt you. His circumstances that Man United forced him into that situation because they had a donkey in Rasmus Højlund as centre forward, and they had no. He had no choice. When did you see Rasmus Højlund take a shot? The guy is just, I don't know who paid. How much did they pay for him? I don't know, but it's something. Somebody's drinking some bad tea or something.
What
And I
think,
saw someone also drop.
Just a minute.
Someone dropped a comment here saying that. Okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, what I think
Please
Melody
proceed.
is trying to say is that you cannot judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree. In that Garnacho is more of a direct winger, is more of an inside forward. He's a player who's
Yeah.
going to have a lot of shots directly from the left side, which I think it's something. We need one winger like that because Neto seems to be more of a creator down the right. Garnacho seems to be much more direct. So in my opinion, what can I say? We need wingers who are actually attempting shots. So yeah, Isaac, you can continue.
Sorry, before Isaac continues, Mr. Statsky, can you look up how many successful dribbles this Garnacho had, like in the last 2 seasons, like proper dribble, one-on-one, take on a player
It's
across the
gonna
ball?
be low. Like, I just know it's gonna be low. Wait, I don't know. I usually use FBref. They don't show successful
scored?
dribbles.
You can
Sorry?
check who
But
scored.
let me
You
ask.
can check.
Let me ask a question.
Yeah.
What is it so important between the success dribble and XG?
Like basically XG is, so basically the way they calculate XG is they calculate the distance from the goal, like whether the angle of it, and on a scale from like 0 to like 1, the likelihood that that goal should have gone in, right? From the angle, the distance, and like the defenders, whatever, whether it's on your right or left foot. So the higher the XG, the more the player gets into those positions. And sometimes they accumulate together. So a player with 0.1, 0.001 XG or 0.1, they accumulate up to like 0.33, which is kind of high, like Garnacho. Successful dribbles is like, how many times are you taking on your man and getting past them, right? So that's another thing we look at as well. Like Messi had really high successful dribble numbers, right? Obviously. But at the same time, you have to remember he was attempting a lot. So sometimes I feel like, you'll see stats, but you have to have like context to them. For example, in Man City, a player who lost the most was De Bruyne. In Liverpool, it was Trent. Why? Because these two are the most creative players. So you give them the license to be able to do that. But like now, if you go see a winger and you see their success rate in dribbling is a bit low, I'm like, yeah, well, they have to attempt multiple dribbles in order to eventually come to it. And sometimes you have to remember when the defenders even intercept the ball, like they are already pulled out of position. If another Chelsea player pokes it, gives it back to the center, we can move the team around. That's a good thing. But again, I don't even think I need to check Garnacho's stats because like even if you go see his reports and stuff, he is bad at dribbling. Like I am not denying it at all. He is low key a bit woeful, but I do think we need one of these players who can shoot because the more we think about it, players who have good XG in Chelsea, I think it was Jackson actually who had the highest XG. He had really high XG, but he just would never be able to convert. Okay, let's take a look at this.
Yeah.
Yeah, let him
Dribbles,
just.
that is low.
Yeah, he
Oh,
just attempts one in 90 minutes. So yeah, he's going to be functionally useless when it comes to lower blocks.
because
I think
yeah.
in many ways, he resembles Pedro Neto. Pedro Neto is the same kind of thing. He only has like a one trick. He's like a bit of a one trick pony. He has speed. He has fast speed, but he can't really dribble. Yes, and he has a very good shot. I'll give him that. But he's some of his crossings a bit dodgy. He definitely can't dribble past a player. He can only like hit the ball past him and outrun the defender, the right back or left back, depending what side he's playing. But as like an all and out dribbler like Madueke, Madueke doesn't need speed. Madueke has good acceleration. He can play both left and right foot. I really, really was sad to see him go because he was a player really improving. But for whatever reason, 50 million reasons. But so Garnacho, okay, I'll take a rain check. I will say I stand to be corrected on this guy. Yeah, we'll see. I'll give him a chance, and if he plays for Chelsea, of course I'm going to support him. But it's not my cup of tea as things stand.
No, he's not mine either. Like I don't like the signing. To be honest, it's just we have to look at the positives. There's nothing we can do. I don't want Garnacho either.
Chelsea 2025 Premier League champions by
No way.
Kingsley Jere. Kyle is
Don't say
saying that
nowhere, please. Don't say nowhere. Nothing
said-
is dead. Actually, let me ask. I don't understand why people are so disappointed by this draw against Crystal Palace. It's just a draw, guys. In football, if you cannot win a game, don't lose that game.
No, but Isaac.
And still,
It wasn't just a draw. It was the
Yes.
manner of the draw. It was the manner of the draw. I think that was the problem. The way we were exposed in that game there, Chelsea did not look like Chelsea because they showed that if you close a space for Chelsea, Chelsea looks very, very ordinary. They can't run at you. They don't have that space in the wings or in the middle. And that is what is disappointing for many of us fans because we saw things we didn't want to see that we hadn't seen before. That okay, Chelsea, they are playable if you have tough, strong, physical. Look at Crystal Palace. Those guys look all like bodybuilders, very strong. They bullied us on the ball. They were actually the better team, and that is what is so disappointing on that draw is because it gave us a bit of a reality check. I think that is what is, in my opinion, my humble opinion.
Let me just say, people are panicking based on
they had a reason.
Just a minute before you proceed. I just want to touch something on the last game. Okay, I'm also part of the people who panicked a lot. But what I'm saying is that a lot of big teams are going to drop points from Crystal Palace. And in my opinion, it is so good that we drew that game. In my opinion, if you can't win a game, don't lose it. And I'm so happy that we drew that game because now the players have realized that this is not the Club World Cup. This is not preseason. This is the Premier League. The players knew, and you could even see the mentality they have on their social media posts. It's a marathon. We are going to get back. We have to do this. So the players understand now that they are going to face low blocks. The manager understands now that, okay, this low block is something that probably we might have not worked on during preseason. And now they are going to focus on how they are going to break low blocks because low blocks are actually going to be around 65% of the games that Chelsea are going to play. Talking about the points, I'm not so scared about the point. Liverpool are traveling away to Newcastle on Monday. Tough game. Newcastle might win that game. Liverpool will, and if Chelsea win their game on Friday, they will be a point ahead of Liverpool. Liverpool are also supposed to host Arsenal after playing Newcastle. Manchester City are playing Tottenham Hotspur at 2:30 in East African time, but there it's around 12:30 in England. It's the early kickoff on Saturday. And when you look at the head-to-head between Tottenham and Manchester City, Tottenham is actually the Big Six team that gives Manchester City the most problems. So Manchester City can draw that game or they can drop points. And then what you notice is that you can just look at this draw and you're like, this draw is bad. But when you look at it, Chelsea still has the easier fixtures in the first 10 games. Now, in my opinion, if we are to do anything this season, then after 10 games, we should have been top of the league. After these 10 games, when you look at our fixtures, I think the only tough fixture we have is that we are going to Old Trafford, which I think is going to be a tough game. I saw the way Manchester United played. It's not going to be an easy game. So generally, I think if we are able to pick ourselves up, because what I was so afraid about in that Crystal Palace game was losing, because I was not so sure that Achenkpong can play as the central centre back, as the sweeper centre back, and actually keep a clean sheet, and he did it, which I'm so impressed for him. Actually, in my opinion, he had a good debut. For a 19-year-old, he did well. He managed to contain one of the most toughest, the most physical centre back, central attacking players like
Forward.
Mateta. Mateta is so big, and Achenkpong managed to contain him, which I think was really good. So I know a lot of fans are disappointed, but in my opinion, this is actually the much needed wake-up call that Chelsea need. João Pedro already knows that now it's not business as usual. These are Premier League defenders. He saw it. Delap saw the same thing. Santos already knows that you cannot afford to waste chances in the Premier League. Simple. He just wasted a chance and it cost Chelsea 2 points. So that is what I can say. And then before I hand over the mic to somebody else, I just want to give some interactions with the comments because we are also working with people. So somebody is talking about 5-0 against West Ham. Palmer scores a hat-trick. In my opinion, what I just want is a win. If it is a 5-win, I will be happy. But I would be happy if Santos scored that 1-0 and we had 3 points, because at the end of the day, the points matter. I would, even if we score 1 goal per game in the next 9 games, I'll be happy, because I will say that we have 19 points. Will it be 19 points? 9 times 3, 27, 28. Keep dreaming, bro. Love the channel and the consistency. Thank you. We need Xavi to join. This guy Simons will add more creativity and composure to the squad. He's a top player and he's got experience. Definitely. I think Xavi Simons might be the signing that we really need to look at. He might actually turn out to be the Cole Palmer of the 25-26 season. You're laughing. You all laughed at Cole Palmer. You all laughed at you. Yeah?
Let's bring him and see if he can catch up.
Yeah.
It will be his first season in Premier League.
But who are you getting rid of? Because apparently, if you want, that's Xavi, whatever his name is, and the other guy. What's the other guy they want? Garnacho. So who's going? Nkunku and who else?
Nkunku is
Chilwell,
going.
Sterling.
Yeah, and Sterling, they're going.
And Jackson.
Yeah. Tuchel said that 4 years ago, if you don't win, don't lose. Yeah, it's true. If you don't win, don't lose. You need a bit of luck to win the Premier League. One big factor is catching mid-table sides when out of form. Palace will lose key players, lose momentum. Whoever meets them takes advantage. Yeah, it is probably bad luck that we played them, but again, we should have won that game. That pass from Santos was a sure goal. If that fell to João Pedro, we'll be having a different story now. If we buy Simons, I suggest trying 2-2-6 formation. Chalobah and Tosin in the defense, in midfield, Cucurella and Caicedo, and attack on the left, João Pedro, in the center, Delap, on the right, Estevao. Maybe you have that attack when you're chasing a goal. You cannot play like that in the Premier League. You will be 4-0 down in the first half. The Premier League is not a joke.
Can you rewind back your statement there? You said we should have won that game. What planet are you living on? That game, it was all about Crystal Palace. How many if it hadn't been for Sanchez, would have lost that game easy. And they also he had me for that game. The ref doing some dodgy VAR business there. So there's no way in hell. Chelsea, we had one shot on target the whole game. That is the reality of that game there. We were poor.
Yes, we were poor, but like even at our poorest, we had that Chalobah chance and we had that Santos chance, which low-key both should have gone in, you know. And those were really high-quality chances. So the more you think about it, even at our worst, we got two really big chances. So think about what we can do on a normal day.
Only we had Jackson would have scored. So we would have, if Jackson had been playing, would have won that game. because we were playing because we played with 10 men the whole game because João Pedro was nowhere to be seen. He was so lightweight. He got bullied in every single duel. João Pedro got bullied. He looked lightweight.
But remember, I want to showcase you. Remember, in the two games where Jackson got a red card, we play very well with 10 men instead of 11 when Jackson was on the pitch.
It's true. It's true. Facts. It's facts. But the game on the Sunday, we played also 10 men because, as I said, there was João Pedro. I didn't see him most of the game. He was hiding because the first confrontation he had, he said, "Ow, ow, ow, that hurts. I don't like this number 10."
Let me ask you a question, Wedege.
Yes, sir.
Do you think if we had Jackson against Palmeiras, we would have made it to the Club World Cup final?
It depends. All in context. It depends. Palmeiras is not Crystal Palace. They're playing a different style. They play the different. You can't compare those. The Premier League teams.
They played the same, by the way.
Because Jackson brings you that physicality. Jackson brings you that ridiculous work rate. Jackson, yes, he may not score. That's true. I'll give you that one. But Cole Palmer plays best when Jackson is there. That is, I'm sure Mr. Stats guy will look that up. Cole Palmer scores. He gets so many chances because Jackson does all the hard work for him, all the unselfish running, and he doesn't get enough credit. Because we see him, yes, we'll see him miss one of those so-called half easy chances. Yes, he's only human, but he's improving. But I just think it's a big mistake to sell him.
But I think just writing off João Pedro based on one game, that is a bit hard. Because João Pedro is that player who can turn up against West Ham and score a hat-trick.
That's true.
He's that player. Because one thing that we all agree is that João Pedro has an incredible finishing. If he has a chance, he will score.
João Pedro, you will see the best of João Pedro when we play top 6 teams. That's when you'll see the best of him. Not when we play these middle teams, the park the bus teams. When we're playing the Arsenals, the Liverpools, the Man Cities, this is where you will see João Pedro at his best. That's when you'll see, okay, the guy's got skills.
He played PSG. He played PSG and he scored.
But he's a good player, but he's just not.
He's talking about the park the bus team, the lower level teams.
Yes.
He's saying that he struggles against low blocks.
Yes, because they bully him.
Yes, but like also we have to remember that like in the Crystal Palace game, he did get a chance, and he missed it. He had that chance from the corner, and he should have buried that. And it was pretty high XG. So like I don't know. I still think he can maybe get 1 or 2 chances, but I think he should have scored that. A lot of people are writing off that corner. I don't know if you guys remember.
Yeah, but if that had been Jackson, there would be about 15,000 compilation videos on YouTube. But Jackson missed. You know, that's how people work on this. I don't understand.
I don't know. You are forgetting how Jackson was disappointing last season.
Yeah,
he missed some chances. Even the empty goal, the goalkeeper was not there, and he got the very good assist, but he didn't score. He didn't convert. This is the issue with Jackson. We can't trust him.
Yeah, I agree. At the end of the day, you want goals from your striker, and if your striker isn't offering you goals, why do you have a striker?
Yeah, but you don't mention Cole Palmer. When's the last time he scored?
Yeah, but he's literally scored in the Club World Cup.
Give me the same energy on Cole Palmer. I want to hear the same energy you give to Jackson.
Cole
When's the last
Palmer,
time he scored?
No,
Yeah?
but
Cole Palmer won
don't
you the
compare
Club World
Jackson to
Cup.
Palmer.
Exactly.
Cole
That was
Palmer single-handedly
He had
won
some
you the Club
as
World Cup.
as
And
as a
Palmer,
striker. As a striker, if you don't score, you have to assist, and that's what
Yeah.
Palmer did.
that was the
What
World Cup.
about
That was the
Jackson?
that was a Mickey Mouse World Cup. We're talking about the Premier League. When's the
Mickey
last time?
Mouse World Cup, bro. Come
The final
on,
of the
man.
Conference League did the same.
Wedege,
The man who changed
Come on.
you cannot belittle our World Cup.
Yeah,
Come
come
on. When
on,
it,
man.
we talk about the EPL, talk about the EPLs, you Mr. Stats guy for Cole Palmer's last season. I want to hear all the stats about Cole Palmer last season, apart from the
Cole
penalty.
Palmer. I mean, his stats were pretty good. Wait, let me check. FBref. But I think
So finally, I just want to get your point, to understand what you mean. You think that the board is not right to sell Jackson. They should not recruit Joao Pedro and keep Jackson. I don't understand your point.
Exactly. You do understand my point. you understood my point 100%. So there's no need for explanation. You explained it yourself. And I just think that they should keep him because Delap, I don't believe in Delap. I don't believe in. There will come games when it comes to bad weather, when it comes to the low block teams, when it comes the games where you need that big, strong, bully centre forward. You will be crying for Jackson. You'll be saying, "Okay, sorry, Jackson. I apologize. I'll write you apology later." And the thing with Jackson, he's a very sensitive young man. You know, he has a lot of emotions and feelings. So when he found out he's got a direct competitor to his place, he got nervous. He lost his mind, and he started doing all these weird fouls and what have you, red cards. That's because you were sorry.
Okay. I just want to say something.
If
Was
you
Joao
give this
Pedro?
comment to
Just a
Rodinike-
minute, Isaac. Just a minute, Isaac. Was Joao Pedro and Liam Delap signed when we were playing in Newcastle away?
No, but they were in the works. You know, the people they do talk. So he knew that they were coming, and so he became very uncomfortable.
By that time, listen. By that time, just a minute. By that time, the club said that they are trusting Jackson. They said that they are very confident with Jackson. In fact, nobody even talked about Chelsea signing a striker. And just before Isaac, I give you the chance because I think you are supposed to speak next. I just want to interact with the people on the chat so that yeah. I didn't like Neto at all. He lives in the past. He shouldn't be released yet. He's not psychologically ready. On Sunday during the minute of silence for Jota, I don't know about Jota is his close friend. That can bring some feelings. He almost burst into tears right on the pitch. He's not in the game. His thoughts are somewhere else. Delap is more physical than Jackson. One thing I have to say here today, on this I will agree with Wedege. Delap has a terrible fast touch.
Yeah,
facts.
He does.
But he has a powerful shot. His shot is powerful.
Yeah, very powerful.
He's a better finisher than Jackson.
Yes, exactly. But he's very powerful shot. But his dribble's not so good. His speed. Who has more speed, Delap or Jackson?
Delap is faster.
Delap is faster.
And who has more vision?
Oh my God.
Who has more vision?
Everyone can see on the pitch. What do you mean by vision?
Vision is like like being able to lay off the ball for Cole Palmer, lay off the ball for Nieto. Vision is that's what I mean by vision.
Wedege, let me ask you a question. Palmer, you've criticized Palmer for not scoring since January, and we are in August in the Premier League, which I agree with you. Palmer needs to fix that. But remember, Jackson was his striker. So Jackson, it seems like Jackson did not help in actually making Palmer great again.
And we have to remember, like, Palmer had the most chances created, but no one was finishing them.
Yeah, that is true. So what do you have to say about that?
Yeah, but you see, but Jackson
created more chances, and Jackson underperformed his XG, with around, was it
But,
around
but, but, but hang on,
11
Mr.
goals?
I'll counter that. So Palmer, ever since he missed that penalty, I don't know when was that he missed that penalty. When was that? A long time ago. Do you remember when that was?
Yeah,
Tyrone
it was
probably
against
remember.
Everton.
When? What? When was that? He missed that penalty, and ever since the penalty miss, he went downhill. I don't know. He's what do you call? His confidence took a big hit, and you could say the same thing about Jackson. That game against Tottenham, remember, was it 4-0? The one where he got substituted, one away from home. What game was that? Was that last season or the season before?
Last season.
Was it last season who was that? Poch substituted him, and he was crying on the bench there. Remember that game?
Really? He was crying.
Yeah, crying. He was sulking on the bench.
Oh.
He wasn't crying like crying, but he was like sulking on the bench. and ever since that game, Jackson, his mentality, his psychology took a big hit, and he's been trying to recover. I don't know why he was so upset, because I think didn't we beat them 4-0? What was the score in that game?
I think 4-3. No, we beat them 4-1. That was the game Jackson scored the fake hat trick. The second game, I don't remember how much.
Fake hat trick. What do you mean fake hat trick?
That was under Pochettino.
It's like consignment, bro.
He wants to wind you up.
And Tottenham got 2 red cards.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that was that kamikaze highline of what's his name? The guy there. Good on you, mate. What's his name? Angie. Did you see how quickly then towards the end of the season how quietly he abandoned that high line? So he sort of like just parked the bus instead. He was so against Man United. It was pathetic. He just parked the bus and said, "Where's your high line?" We want a trophy. So, and why did you do this? Why did you do this before? So high line, but Chelsea, we play sort of like a high line, but a bit more sensible, not such kamikaze style. But we do have a high line, and we are very susceptible to the counter attack. Because if we lose one of the balls going forward against one of those top 6 teams, you say Man City especially, or even Liverpool. Our defense will be tested. But I saw Achimpong. I was very, very impressed with Achimpong in this weekend. Yeah. I was thinking to myself, this guy, do we really need new defenders? With this guy, he's tall, big, strong, physical, and very confident. He's better than Badiashile, that's for sure. So
everyone's better than Badiashile.
What do you mean he's better? Everybody's better than Badiashile? He's a good player.
Not that hard, bro. He's so bad.
He was good before he got injured. Badiashile was fantastic before his injury. I think he was. What about Fofana? Well, yeah, they asked the panel. What do we do with Fofana?
Yeah.
You're being asked about Fofana.
Bro, Lukman Fofana is probably our best center back, right? Like, let's not lie. He's really fast. He can cover for a lot of defenders, and it frees Colwill up a lot more. Your point, I think. Okay, just coming back to Achimpong real quick. First of all, yeah, he had a great game. But we need to remember, he's really skinny. I know that sounds like a small factor, but he is really skinny. And I think he still needs time to kind of get up to speed. I don't think we should rely on our 18-year-old to like be our starting center back. We should slowly integrate him with someone more experienced. And he was good that game, I agree. But Tyrone mentioned last week, we really missed Cole with that game. Because we really didn't have a center back who would break the line. Yeah, go ahead.
Just a minute, I interject you, and then you'll come back to complete whatever you wanted to respond. Just hold it. I just want to say this thing about Achimpong. Achimpong will be feasted alive with the Premier League strikers. If he plays against Haaland, you will hate that game. You will switch off your TV. If he plays against even Isak, if he even plays against Chris Wood, oh my God, you will not even watch it.
Why?
He's not.
The question is why? Why are you saying that?
He's not physical. He did well against Crystal Palace.
I will not change my mind.
But you don't go into the season with Achimpong as your centre back. He's so good playing in the cup games, in the FA Cup, in the EFL game. But honestly speaking, if Achimpong is our starting centre back in around 20 games out of 38, I'm telling you, we are not even in a top 4 race. We are in a top 5 race.
But that's
Yeah,
what you said.
and I think it's a
That's what
lot.
you said
Let me
about.
ask you.
That's what you said about Chalobah. You said, Chalobah, blah, 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 blah. But look at him now.
Yes, of course. Yes, of
he
course.
needed.
Tyron, let me ask you. Let me ask you. This left winger from Arsenal, that young man,
Martinelli.
is not
Martinelli.
Martinelli. The left. No, not Martinelli. The
Trossard.
left back.
Trossard.
No,
Nice. I think you're
the
talking
left
about
back.
Lewis Kelly.
Louis
I'm-
Kelly. How old is he?
we-
How old is
I
he?
don't even. You know, there's a difference between the fullback and the centre back. See, the centre
Yeah.
back, you are relying on him to defend set pieces. You are relying on him to to be the one to mark strikers. You see, a fullback like Gusto is young. Gusto is sometimes is weak. We can handle Gusto, but sometimes Isaac and Wedeg. I know you love Achimpong, but even if you look
I
at
trust
it,
him.
you look at Virgil van Dijk. Okay, Virgil
Yeah.
is getting old. Look at Konate. Look at Konate. Look at Akanji.
Saliba.
Look at Saliba. Look at Gabriel. You can't have Achimpong. I'm telling you, if Achimpong is our main central centre back in the league this season, we are not even
we
going
do
to finish in
that's
the
why-
top 4. We are not going to
That's why
finish in
at
the top
Chelsea
4.
sometimes. No. That's why at Chelsea sometimes we don't give credit to the academy player.
Thank you.
Yes.
Well said.
We are
Thank
just
you.
fast to sell them. We don't trust them. If you see around the other club, Manchester City, Arsenal, they can get players from academy and then they trust him, they give them confidence. The way we start treating Achimpong, you see, he will not perform. Let's trust him. Let's give him sack games as Liverpool.
Thank you, Isaac. You have talked about Manchester City. Today they have sold McAtee, they sold Dilap, they sold Lavia, they sold Tosin, they sold Palmer, they sold Gittens. All these players would have been playing for Manchester City now. Chelsea,
but still in their team, they have academy player.
Just a minute. Rhys James is the club
still
captain
they have
from
academy
the
player
academy.
in their team.
Rhys James is a club captain. Mason Mount was actually trusted to be at Chelsea. He chose to leave. He chose to leave. Let me Christensen. Chalobah is the only player that I can say the club mistreated him and he's back.
Yeah.
Chalobah is the only player. All the other players were given opportunity. Robin Loftus-Cheek, he got injured. He came back into the team. It did not work. Hudson-Odoi, the same thing. He was so good. He got injured. He came back to the team. It did not work. But all the other players, it worked.
But at the moment, you see, me, I'm not even happy with the idea to sell Tariq George. Why?
George,
we have to develop him.
You know, there's one thing that I have to say. We want the team to win the league, but we also want our academy players who are raw to play in the team. And it cannot work.
Yeah.
It cannot work. We either want the team to win the league with good players or we want to prioritize our academy players. And we cannot do both of them. In my opinion, I've watched Tariq George. He's so raw. He is a good player, but he's so raw. Yeah. Sometimes his decision-making in the final third is not good.
Let's develop Achimpong. I trust that man.
Yeah. We're not saying that he shouldn't play for us ever. We're saying he should slowly integrate, but punching your whole season on an 18-year-old center back is crazy.
Imagine when James and Gusto are not available, Maresca will not play Achimpong. He will play, Caicedo or Chalobah. You see? We have to give him a chance.
Isaac, he will play Achimpong when James is not there. The reason I've always said, the times when Maresca has decided to play Caicedo as a right back is when he wants to actually play Lavia. If he has Lavia, he can say, Lavia, you can start as a midfielder. Caicedo can start as a right back. No. When we have the ball, Caicedo will come in field and play with Lavia.
Instead of selling Achimpong, I prefer to sell Lavia.
Lavia, exactly. Lavia is always injured. What's the point of Lavia? So was
Yes.
injured.
There are two players in different positions. And nobody is telling Achengpong, by the way. We are saying, what we are saying is that we cannot go into the season like he's our main centre back.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And you have also talked about an academy player. Levi Colwill. Look at Colwill. He's from the academy. He's now the centre back that we are relying on. So, Achengpong is a good player. I don't want to put pressure on him. It is not good to actually take a 19-year-old, throw him onto the pitch, and you're telling him you have to keep clean sheets like Van Dijk. You have to keep.
I don't mention Van Dijk. Don't even mention Van Dijk. Hang on, wait. You mentioned Van Dijk. Go have a look at the last 2 seasons. Van Dijk, he's always the one responsible for Liverpool goals. He's so slow.
Okay. I have accepted. Okay, let's say Konate.
Okay, he's good.
Konate, Saliba, Akanji, or Ruben Diaz,
Gabriel,
and even Dan Ban, and then you're like telling Achengpong, you go and play like those centre backs. You go and ensure Chelsea mount a title charge. Ensure that you are always ensuring that we are conceding less goals. It's putting a lot of pressure on him, and he's bound to make mistakes. He made a pass.
Tyron, remember. At the beginning of the season, last season, no one was even reliant on Tosin. But how come today Tosin is like, we cannot play without Tosin?
Exactly.
We are saying that because Colwill is not there. If Colwill is there, Tosin does not start, and that is what has been.
Tosin was our best defender last season.
Today, both of them are not there. Achengpong can play,
but he's playing because Fofana is not ready. If Fofana is ready, Fofana will play with Chalobah.
Guys, listen.
That is a second player to be sold.
No. But listen. Achengpong is really good. He's promising. We love him, right? All of us on the panel love him. None of us want him gone. But like, if I'm in his position, I don't think even I want to be told, start as the main person right now. Like, if he can learn some things from someone like Tosin, maybe next season, maybe in a year or two, we can start. We're not saying we should sell him. Even Tariq George, we don't have to sell him. We can loan Tariq George. We can give him some minutes here and there, because Garnacho and Gittins aren't guaranteed to be good either. And 3 of our back 4 are academy players: Colwill, James, Chalobah. And we have to remember, guys, we've already gone through that academy phase, of getting young players in the team. And it already it put us in the top 4 race, yeah, but it kind of hindered us a bit. So, like, with Achengpong, as much as I love him, as much as I want him to be, like, part of the team, for his own benefit and for the benefit of the team, it's best for him to slowly get into it. I can see Achengpong starting more games next year. Genuinely. I think everyone on this panel can, but we can't rush him there, because when you think about players like Hudson-Odoi, Loftus-Cheek, we need to remember they're young, and one injury can end them. I don't want that to happen to him. That's also another risk we have to manage.
Arsenal playing 15-year-olds. So what is young?
Yeah, but like,
when I watch Livramento and Lewis Hall, I'm like, you see.
But you're looking.
How do you feel when you see Livramento and Lewis Hall?
Isaac, I'm not saying that I was opposed. I was opposed to selling both of them. In my side, I was opposed in selling both of them. Both of them were good. Livramento and Hall were good. But what we are saying is, we can get away with that in the full back area. We cannot get away with that in the center back area. Let me ask you a question. Let me just give you a scenario. We are playing Arsenal. We are having a lineup. Let me give you this lineup. We're having Gusto. Just a minute. We're having Gusto. We're having Achengpong. We're having Chalobah. We're having Cucurella. We're having Enzo, Caicedo, Palma, João Pedro, and Pedro Neto. That is our lineup. We are defending a corner against Arsenal. Arsenal have Ben White. They have Calafiori. They have Gabriel, and they have Saliba. That is what we are defending.
And Gyökeres and Havertz.
And Gyökeres and Havertz. And then you expect Achengpong to win that goal. How are you going to win it?
Because Achengpong is tall. He's tall and strong. So this is why he's playing. He's tall.
Not strong. He's tall. He's 6'3", but he's not strong. Like, let's be honest.
It's not
He's
strong.
not strong.
You think
He can.
you think
He can.
Achimpong cannot play with Kai Havertz?
He
Anyone
cannot.
can play. Actually, no. I feel like anyone can bully Kai
He
Havertz.
can.
Even I could bully Kai Havertz.
Have you seen the way? Have you seen the way Kai Havertz
Kai
has
Havertz.
bulked up? Have you seen
Kai
Kai
Havertz.
Havertz recently? Have you
So?
seen Havertz recently?
So I don't care. I don't like talking about snakes. Get the name out of our stream.
Oh, snakes! Wow, wow, wow. But,
I apologize. I apologize.
yeah, but I'll ask Tyrone. So,
Yeah.
so you sounds like you don't like young people. So, in your humble opinion, when is a player old enough to play in the team? Because it sounds like you mustn't have any young players playing in the team. So,
No.
what age should they be allowed to play?
First of all, I want to correct you. First of all, I want to correct you. Just a minute, everyone. Now,
Yeah.
I'm not saying that, I'm not talking about a young player, because when I look at it, I think a player's experience in the number of times he has played determines if he's ready. Now, for example, Hato has been a captain for Ajax. He has played more than 100 games.
Okay.
I'd trust Hato more than Achimpong. I'm not saying that Achimpong is a bad player. No. The same way, Colwill is a young player. Colwill is 22 years old. That is one thing that people don't understand. But Colwill has played under De Zerbi. He played many games under De Zerbi. He played many games under Pochettino. He played many games under Maresca. So when you look at his age, you'll say Colwill is a young player. But the number of games that he has played is what has made him to be what he is. And what I'm saying is that Achimpong can actually be a good defender if he's playing alongside an experienced defender. Now, when I look at Chalobah and when I look at Colwill, you'll realize that Colwill has played more games than Chalobah. Yet Chalobah is older than him. Colwill has played more games. And what I'm saying is that Achimpong is a good player. I want him to play. I want him to excel at Chelsea. But I want him to come in and play in the AFL Cup. I want him to come in and play in the FA Cup. I want him to come in and play in the Champions League. In the Champions League, he will grow.
That is how we grow. Let him play in the Premier League.
That is how we started with Chalobah. That is how we brought Chalobah in, and that is how Chalobah became a good player. And now I'm saying, and there is no way Achimpong can play when you have players like Fofana who are experienced, when you have players like Chalobah, when you have players like Tosin. He is a good player, and I think he needs that loan. You see the way we gave Colwill a loan to Brighton, and then he played and he became so good. Then he came to Chelsea, and even when he came to Chelsea, he came and played under the wings of Thiago Silva. It is Thiago Silva who coached Colwill to play that position. That is one thing that people don't realize. Thiago Silva is the one who coached Colwill to play in that central centre-back position, because that is where Thiago Silva was playing. So he taught him how to play there. So what we are saying is that Achimpong can even go to loan at Strasbourg. He can even go to loan at the Championship. Then he can get the minutes that he wants. He can play a full season. He can play in a team that where even if he makes mistakes, he will not be criticized. Because I know very well the minute he will play at Chelsea, he will make a mistake and he will be eaten alive. And we know Chelsea. So there's no point of actually taking this young player and throwing him into the lions then. No.
And can I just add one more point?
Yeah, take him on loan. Let him play one season on loan and say that when you're going on loan, we are giving you this player on loan, but you must play him in all the games. So that when he plays all the games in the league, just the way we did with Santos, he will come back when he's ready now. Now, when he comes back next season, then I'm like, let's start giving him a chance, because I also know he's a good player.
And not just that, but like the things, I don't think Tyrone hates young players. I think it's more of we need young players to already have minutes before we allow them in the team, like the people he explained. Most of our players are young, but even Garnacho, he's had 2 full seasons in the league. Achimpong is fresh from the academy. That's why it's scary. But yeah, sorry to cut you off, Isaac.
Yeah, but he played last season in the Conference League, all the games. So I don't see why you say he didn't play any
Yes.
games.
Yes, he play in the
But
world.
it's-
Yes, yes, in the Club World Cup, he play also.
so I don't buy this argument.
What do you mean by
He has no
he's
games under his wings.
promising?
I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
What do
You
you
said
mean by
Carabao
he's
Cup,
promising?
but he played all the Conference League games there, what have you, FA Cups, League Cups. He's had many games. So I don't buy this. I don't subscribe to this argument that he hasn't got enough games under his wing. A young guy, Jose, would have just thrown him to Jose would just throw you in the big game against Liverpool, Man United. He doesn't care. If you're young, it doesn't matter.
Yes.
You are a professional or you're not a professional. Go and do your thing.
Yes.
Don't.
Yes.
You don't need to be babysit. Somebody babysit you, give you a lollipop, and somebody give you a nice. What do you put the thing on the baby's head that to keep the baby's head warm? They put
A pacifier.
pacifier. Give you a pacifier. Plus, you give you that.
Tyron, you know what is happening now to McGill.
Yeah.
We loan him and think that he can get some minutes there. But you see, McGill will be a third striker.
There you go.
A third one.
There you go.
Is that a bad thing? Because, like, bro, some of these players bring us profit, some of them stars. Everyone won't get a spot. You have to be okay with that. We made profit on Oguchuku. We made profit on Broya.
Let me ask Isaac and Wedege one question. What do you want? Do you want Chelsea to win the league, win the Champions League, or you want Chelsea to develop?
We can win the league with Achimpong. We can.
I don't know why you guys hate Achimpong.
We don't hate him. Oh my god.
Oh my god! Now we are hitting the delusion part. We are hitting the delusion part. We can please.
Okay, let me counter that question.
He's a player. He's getting salary, so he has to do his job.
Okay, hang on. I'll counter that question. So, the last 2 seasons, I've been hearing like Arsenal, we are one player away from winning the league. We just need a centre forward. Are Chelsea? Are we ready to win the league? Is this squad, if you put your hand on your heart, one hand on the heart, the other hand on the Bible, is this Chelsea squad good enough to win the league? Yes or no?
In my opinion.
Yeah, your humble opinion, yeah?
In my opinion, with Colwell's injury, when Colwell was there, let me just explain, because it's pegged on many factors. Winning the league is just not like, it's just not a straightforward answer. So when Colwell was there, I was like 100%. We have all the things. Now when Colwell got injured, I was like, we can still win the league. We can actually challenge with Tosin there, but we need to add a centre back. Or if we don't add a centre back, at least Fofana needs to be fit enough for long periods during the season, and we will be okay. That is what I said. That is what I can say. And what I know now is that if it comes to winning the league, yes, we can win the league, because I think, again, the person who's going to win the league is the person who's going to get around 80 or 82 or 84 points, because the league is difficult. I don't think we are going to see teams hitting 90 points and 95 points the way Manchester City are doing it. It's not going to happen, because the league is so tough, and you are going to see it the next game with the teams that you are, because when I looked at the Monday night football between that clown and the Manchester United legend, what I noticed is that Gary Neville said that Manchester United are going to finish in the top 4 based on how they performed against Arsenal. But you see, this is the same Manchester United team that will lose to Brighton. You see, it's those dynamics. You cannot just judge it. The same way I cannot say that Chelsea failed to score against Crystal Palace. Now, Chelsea are not going to qualify for the top 4. You see, there are a lot of dynamics. We can say that Chelsea can win the league, then Palmer gets injured or Caicedo gets injured. So, in my opinion, the team, without further injuries, and we get the players who are injured back into the team, we can win the league. Yeah. But we cannot win the league with Achimpong as our defender. That's what I'm saying.
And we have to remember that when Achimpong breaks out the line, he's not going to pass it through midfield. He'll get past 1 or 2 and then pass it sideways. And that's what Maresca is looking for.
Yes, he used to do that, by the way, in the Crystal Palace game. He used to receive the ball, he would drive with the ball. You'd think he wants to make a line breaking pass, then he'll pass the ball back to Chalobah. So
Yeah.
it beats the sense why
Caicedo
he
was
was
doing the
carrying the
same
ball.
in the first season. Caicedo was doing the same. He was passing the ball even
Yes.
to the.
But look
Yeah,
at the
but
structure. Look at the structure that Pochettino created.
yeah.
Pochettino,
Oh
in
my God.
fact, I want to raise my hand here and apologize to the sporting directors. They need to hire him and sack him again.
Man,
I,
like
I don't know, but I can agree. I don't know. Something about that attacking. The left hand side of the attack there looks very, very weak. The right hand side of the Chelsea attacks looks strong. Centre forward, if you're not playing Jackson, looks very weak.
oh my God. Okay.
Cole Palmer. It's all a lot of this hinges on Cole Palmer's form. We're too reliant on Cole Palmer. If he's on form throughout the whole season, Chelsea will win this league. But if Cole Palmer is blowing hot and cold like he was doing last season, I think we'll struggle because everything
Honest.
is. Oh yes, because there's too much reliance on Cole Palmer. Cole Palmer, we need other people. What's this guy? I like this guy, the young guy, the 18-year-old, the right winger. We bought.
Esteban.
Oh, what a player! What a
Yeah,
player! This is.
But he's also raw. He's also raw.
He is
Yeah,
raw,
there you
but
go.
he's
You
young.
see, you don't like young people. I knew it. You couldn't help yourself. There you go.
No, but I want
But,
Esteban to
but,
start.
he, but, he, need-
Him, I wanted to start. Yeah.
but he needs minutes at a high level. Exactly like now. Play him, bring him on a sub, give him 25, 30 minutes. Let him develop in the team, not send him on loan to Newcastle
Yeah,
or to wherever,
Yes.
to Strasbourg, because there he won't really develop. But develop him like this, like how you're doing now. Bring him in slowly. Let him taste. Let him get his licks. You saw how they were. You saw how they were tackling him there. He got his first licks. Says, "Hey, this is not Brazil. This hurts." Okay,
but that is what I said about Chingpo.
oh, here we go. Yeah.
Okay.
but
Also, guys, I think we need to say one thing. I don't get why everyone in this team says like that Palmer is our most important player. Because if we lose Caicedo tomorrow, we're in a lot of trouble. I think.
oh, come on, we've got some. What's the young guy there who came from Strasbourg?
No.
That guy there. What's his name? One from Strasbourg. That guy, the young guy there. What's his name?
Santos. Yeah, but like
Santos.
defensively, bro, I think people underestimate how much Caicedo does, man. He probably does 10 times everyone's defensive work on the pitch, man.
And the other guy, the Santos, and what's the other guy? The other young guy there. He's
Oh yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Let me just clarify this one thing about Caicedo.
Esugo
is good off the ball. And Maresca said this. When it comes to tackling, winning that ball, he's so good. But Esugo does not play those passes that Caicedo plays. You see, the player who's playing in that Caicedo position should be able to receive the ball and pass the ball to the attack. Esugo will receive the ball and pass the ball back to the defense. So he will be good in covering, but he will kill the attack. And Mehdi has said something here. Caicedo is so important. And I have to say this. If Caicedo gets injured, I don't think we even play in the Champions League.
Can I say something very, very small about the Caicedo? Caicedo, the way he plays his game is on the limit, right on the limit. You know how sometimes if refs suddenly decide, this guy, they start focusing on this guy Caicedo. Look at all these tackles. That is yellow card on the fringe. You will see suddenly with the refs suddenly start giving yellow cards and blowing fouls against him. Will Caicedo's level drop because will you have to start compensating? Okay, I can't do that rough challenge. Like he does a lot of rough tackles, a bit like Roy Keane, that kind of old school, and he gets away with it because.
Have you seen?
I'm gonna say.
Have you seen the way Caicedo is a beast when he's playing with the yellow card?
He is. And there's sometimes you watch Caicedo, you think, how did he make that tackle? Because it looked impossible. Literally. And there are times where even the referees, at least I've noticed, Caicedo's won the ball, but they think it's a foul. It's not. We literally saw that against the Crystal Palace game. For Eze's free kick, no, it wasn't Eze. It was another game. He literally tackled the guy. He got the ball, but because the angle looked impossible to get the ball, the referee gave a foul.
But Caicedo, the way he plays, his style of play is basically a serious injury waiting to happen. Very,
I was
very.
scared the same thing. Yeah,
He throws himself
honestly.
out there.
Yeah, it's
Sometimes you think
risky.
really very, very risky style. That will not last. Like that, it's like, come on, you got to look after yourself. You got to last for the next 10 years or whatever it is. You can't do kamikaze always. You be good to yourself. Look,
We say that, but we had Ramirez,
Wedege, he's Chelsea's long-term plan. We don't have a plan of getting another country, so he should take care of
Exactly.
himself.
but he's
Bro,
good.
if we lose
He's good. I'll give you that.
Caicedo,
He's good.
we're not gonna be title challengers, man. Definitely.
If we take out, this is another question I have for the panel. Nice question. So if we take out, if we leave Reece James to the side, who is the true captain and who is the vice captain? If you take out Reece James out of the equation,
Enzo's probably the captain. Devi probably vice, I guess.
In
No,
your
vice
eyes,
captain is Caicedo. Caicedo is the vice captain.
no, in your eyes, just in your eyes, just in your opinion,
Okay. I would say Enzo, then Kobe.
why Enzo? Based on what?
I mean, he's a bit vocal on the pitch.
Not only is he vocal on the pitch, Enzo is very firm, by the way. Enzo is very firm with the players. He's super firm. You remember the way Sterling wanted to take that penalty, and Enzo took that ball from him. Even when Jackson wanted to argue with the referee, he's one player who gets everyone online. When he sees even Colwill wanting to throw his tantrums. This is one thing about Colwill that I hate, by the way. Sometimes he's actually going to look for a yellow card from the referee. He has made a foul. The referee has not given him a card, and then he's going to shout at the referee. So whenever Colwill wants to do that, it is Enzo who picks him up and throws him into the back and tells Chalobah, handle this idiot first of all, so that he can be able to talk with the referee.
So for you, is because he's shouting?
No, not he's shouting. He's a leader on that pitch. He's a leader on that pitch.
And who's the vice captain then?
They should give it to Kukurea.
Kukurea. Okay, good shout. What about Caicedo? What about Caicedo?
Yes.
Caicedo
or Cole Palmer.
No Palmer, man.
Palmer, when the team is actually having a fight with the referee, Palmer is seated down there.
Exactly.
Palmer is down there with Sancho. He's asking himself, how am I going to score the next goal? Is that a person you can make a captain?
No.
The captain is usually Miss James with Caicedo and Fernandez.
But what about the other defender there?
That is
the big
a good way. Is
okay.
Chalobah can handle it.
No, the other guy, one we got from Fulham, the big defender, the best one.
Tosin can be captain. Yeah, that one can be captain.
Because he's old, they respect him. Yeah.
And him. If we're going to start Jackson, you know what? Because Tosin is such a good player, I would suggest we play him as centre forward.
Oh my God!
Because we can't waste him on the bench.
Enough.
Nobody's strong. You mentioned that Nottingham Forest centre forward. What's his name? That big guy. Chris Wood. Same style. Same MO. Strong, powerful.
We have a strong, powerful centre forward. Liam Delap is that.
Come on.
Delap is strong.
You are dismissing our strikers based on the Crystal Palace game. I'm telling you, these are two good strikers. You're going to see of the league. We have two strikers. We have two good strikers. I know it hurts you that Jackson is going to Aston Villa, but we have two better players who are better than Jackson.
I know. And I just think I'd rather play Tosin than that. I would. It depends on the game. If we're playing in the low block teams,
you hate our strikers that much. What did they do to you, bro?
Only when we're playing the bus teams, we need this big, strong, old school meat and potato centre forward. The ones that were missing teeth. Remember the old days.
I will say this, right? Like, I feel like Maresca should have a plan B. Because that game when he took off Pedro, I was like, why didn't we just play with two strikers?
Yeah,
because we can see this is a very physical team. I think he needs to have a plan B. He can't just stick to the same pattern over and over. We're going to get fouled.
He was scared of the Palace counter-attack. He was not an idiot. He knows. He said, nah, we can only afford to play one striker up front because he needs a wide midfield because the Palace was so damn fast. That guy is and the other
That
guy
is
is there.
that is
So
true.
Bro,
the
it's
manager is not
my
the
God.
manager is very intelligent. He knows what he's doing, and
Yeah,
but
he
he's
knew. He knew. Yeah, by the way, Dege is so correct. Actually, he knew that if we take away a midfielder and actually replace him with two strikers, we would have probably lost that game 2-0. And imagine losing that game in the first game of the
oh
season.
my god.
Oh my God. It is
No, but like
if it is
in
a
the
draw
last
and
5-10 minutes, you can try it, right?
really and lose the game.
Wow.
No, bro, you're not gonna lose the game in the last 5 minutes. Come on, like Eze was off at that point. That basically means Crystal Palace's players attack is gone.
Now that means that you sub Liam Delap so late.
I mean, okay, that's true as well. To be honest, I didn't really consider that. I don't know. Okay, maybe not two strikers, but maybe we need to have a different plan sometimes. Like maybe sometimes let the fullback overlap and let the winger come inside. Mix it up a little bit, because we're
Yeah,
really dependent on the same system. It's a bit problematic.
Play the ball in the middle. Try to pass your way throughout it. That's Maresca's style. It's if you can. It's easy to not easy, but you can defend against that. If it's the same one trick pony, same. Teams figure you out. This is the Premier League. It doesn't take them many games to figure you out how to stop you. And
Exactly.
so what they've watched that game, they've analyzed that game against Crystal Palace. Chelsea just flood the midfield, bully them. Don't give them any space whatsoever, and Chelsea is basically you've tamed them. And Maresca, as you said, better come up with a plan B quick. But in the same breath, I just think this Chelsea team, when they play any top six team, you're going to see how good this team is. You really, really see how good it is, but not against the low block teams. Because remember how, like, under Poch, we struggled against these low block teams. We just could not score for whatever reason. And we played the good teams who give you space because they're attacking as well. Then things happen. That's when you see, wow, this is like the old Chelsea. You feel good, you feel nice watching the game. But then you get a reality check. Then shows up, Leeds United, or shows up, or Crystal Palace. You think, oh God, not again. This is gonna be a very long season. You just lose a bit of hope. But from what I saw from Liverpool, they didn't look that good. I know everybody's saying, oh, they spent all this money and all these players. Their defense looks horrible. Van Dijk looks so slow. I still think I'm not quite sure if they're going to win the league. I'm not convinced.
I'd agree.
That's why I'm saying. The team that is going to win the league is the team that knows how to win dirty 1-0, and most importantly, I don't think Liverpool are going to win the league. That is something that
I don't think so either.
That is something that I say because they have to bite the bullet with Virgil van Dijk. If they're getting Guehi, then they will get Guehi, and Slot needs to tell Virgil, like, Virgil, you're going to sit. Or if they insist on playing Virgil van Dijk, then they're supposed to use Virgil the way Chelsea used Thiago Silva. They play him in the middle of a back three, then they have two center backs who are faster. So they decided to have Konate down the right, Guehi down the left, Virgil in the middle, Frimpong as wing back, Kakes as wing back, then they can have McAllister and Gravenberch, and then Salah as an inside forward, Ekitike and Gakpo. That means that players like Szoboszlai will not play.
Or they can play in the 10.
Maybe they move. Maybe Liverpool can win the league if they move to a 3-4-3. They can win the league. But if they insist on playing with a back four with Virgil is finished. He can't play as a back four defender.
He gave away a penalty in the Community Shield. I think even the game against Bournemouth, one of the goals were his fault.
Virgil, but even remember the game that we played against Liverpool, the one that we won 3-1 last season. He was responsible for the second goal. Look at how Palmer scored the other goal. He was so poor. Even the way Fernandes came and scored that goal, it was his fault. Like there's this thing that people are dwelling on Virgil van Dijk's past glory. Another player who I think he has passed it is Salah. Let nobody tell you that Salah scored in the opening day. I watched that game. He was out of the game.
He was really bad. Yeah.
He was out of the game. And in fact, Liverpool got lucky in that game. That game was ending at was ending into a draw. I watched it. Chiesa scored a fluke goal towards the end. I think Bournemouth should have done better. If Bournemouth actually defended that, then Liverpool would have drawn their first game at home.
But hang on 1 second. Weren't you the one who was crying about this Chelsea goalkeeper who said sold to Bournemouth? Did you see how crap he was in that game? What's his name? Petrovic. The first 5 minutes here, but he was responsible for all those goals there. It was going about Petrovic.
The Chiesa goal was superb. Even the Salah goal.
Salah goal was in the corner. There's nothing you can do about that.
Yeah, there's nothing you can do about it. Even the Chiesa goal, he had too many bodies in front of him. You see, it was a rebound. The ball was blocked, and then this guy hit it back directly.
Who scored the first and second?
No, but I think the Chiesa goal, it could be better on the Chiesa goal.
I think the Ekitike goal, he would have been better.
Yeah, that was stupid. I don't know, what did he do?
Yeah, that one he should have done something. Because I watched that game, I think the Ekitike ball he could do something about it.
He dived the wrong way, bro.
Even the Gakpo scored near post or what?
I didn't see Gakpo's goal actually. I went to the toilet for 1 minute and I missed it.
What did you learn from that? Go to the toilet at halftime. Don't go into the game. Don't get a drink or anything. You know, when I watch Chelsea play, I don't move. I refuse to move. I watch the game. You know,
if you move, you can come and find that Chelsea are actually trailing.
Then I switch off the TV if I can help it. And then I put on radio commentary or something. You know, it's happened before because I grew up. But I don't know. But it's sometimes games are like that. You know, Champions League games. You think, hey, I better not move. Let me just watch. And then, it's exciting. But some games, some days, oh my God, you start multitasking. You start doing all other kinds of stuff. You know, playing on your phone and doing all those things. Is this game finished yet? No, shit, it's still going. Football's not always the nice champagne, whatever you. Some games where you think, oh my God, what a wasted now 1.5 hours. I'll never get back. But it's like that. But when you're obviously watching Chelsea, you're very invested because you always, depending on who you play, your heart is in your mouth. And there's some games where, you know, it's the best games are when you play on a Saturday game, early kickoff, and you have a nice easy win, and then you can just sit and relax the rest of the Saturday. Think, watch all the other bastards struggling, and think, okay, your turn, United, Arsenal, whatever. We've got our 3 points.
That's why I want this win on Friday. I just want this win on Friday. If we win on Friday, I'm hate watching. I want all of them to drop points. I'm going to watch, and if we win on Friday, I'm going to watch even I think the Newcastle-Liverpool game is one game that is going to expose Virgil. Did you see the way Newcastle were attacking Aston Villa?
But there were 10 men as well.
But no, I'm saying before the 10 men. Did you see the way Anthony Gordon was playing?
I don't know, because in the second half, Villa really started to turn up the pressure, you know.
Yes, Isaac.
As a striker, Anthony Gordon. I'm
saying when I watched the game between Aston Villa and Newcastle, even before Konsa got the red card, because I watched that game, I was so excited about the league, so I was watching every game.
Yeah.
So I watched the Aston Villa Newcastle game. I'm telling you, I expected Aston Villa to be so good, and I was shocked. I was asking myself, we had written off Newcastle. Newcastle is actually playing so good. They had many chances. In fact, the 40-year-old goalkeeper from Aston Villa saved Aston Villa a lot. Newcastle should have won that game.
No, I don't think they created enough, Tyrone. I was watching that game and I wanted to fall asleep, man.
Yes, Tyrone, we have different opinions. For me, that game, and actually during the game, I even text you. For me, it was boring. I think the team has to improve. Yes,
but I saw Guimaraes.
I was not excited to see Gordon as a striker.
Yeah, I agree with him there.
But I think Bruno Guimaraes and Tonali were winning the ball. This player, who's this player? the number 8 for Aston Villa, Tielemans, could not even move with the ball. McGinn was receiving the ball, he was being fouled immediately. I think Newcastle are winning the ball quite well. When it came to winning the ball, they were winning the ball quite well.
I mean, obviously, bro, you have that Hulk in Joe Linton, bro. He'll probably kill you if you don't like give him the ball or something.
Are you mad, bro? Everybody have seen Joe? The guy does bodybuilding or something. The guy's so big.
Yeah, bro.
Joe Wilton, so strong.
And Dunbar, have you seen Dunbar?
Jeez.
Oh my God.
Viking.
And Burn is 6'6", you know.
He's a Viking, and then that is the player that Isaac and Wedege want Achengpong to deal with during a game. What are you saying, guys?
But,
this is the Palace game, and then you're talking about Achengpong leading your defense throughout the league. Isaac. No, Isaac was the first person who texted me about Tosin. I never knew that Tosin was not playing. I was like, everything is okay. Tosin is going to play. And then Isaac sends me that message on Sunday in the morning. I'm like, shit. What is this that is happening? Then I'm like, this cannot be. So you're telling me that, I will be so confident if Tosin is playing all games. Because I know if you're facing Dunbar, we have Tosin there. Tosin is close to his height. And Tosin is so good in the air.
There are some players like I know I was like, there's some players, bro. If I'm running at them, I'm turning around and passing the ball. And then Burn and Jones and players like that, bro. Like, they're scary, man. And I don't know, we have a young team, so sometimes I think they need a bit of that. We showed it against Palace. We had physicality, but teams like Newcastle will beat the life out of you, bro. You really need to keep your head straight, and it's really hard. It's really hard.
Eddie Howe has created a team of giants. That team is of giants.
Yeah, my God.
Giants from everywhere. From the goalkeeper, Nick Pope, then you have Dunbar, and then you have Shah, and then you have Joy Linton, you have Bruno Guimaraes, you have Tonali. Big people.
Don't even talk about Guimaraes, bro. It looks like he came from the cartel, bro. The way he kicks. You remember how he almost killed Fofana one time, bro? My God.
I don't want to play Newcastle. I want you guys to watch that Monday game. That Monday night football, Newcastle versus Liverpool. Just watch that game.
Sure.
Strange enough, you mentioned all this physicality. What about our Chelsea team? Do we have that physicality in this team? Or we maybe lacking more?
But you have said Achengpong has the physicality.
I see you are coming back to Jackson. You are coming back to Jackson.
You say through the back door, very clever. But in this Chelsea team now, you've just mentioned all these Newcastle. You said somebody from the cartel. I said, what the hell? But if we look at our Chelsea team, who's that bad boy? Who is that shithouser? Who is that really?
Caicedo is short, but he's very physical.
Delap as well. Delap will push you. He will annoy you.
Yeah, Delap is that striker. You see, one thing Delap is going to give us this season is that striker we are going to bring in when the defense is tired.
He's like the new Diego Costa,
Jackson is not only a bad boy. He's a very, very bad boy.
Who?
Jackson.
Who's
Jackson.
Delap is so bad. I wouldn't like playing against him. No, when I usually play my casual football out there, if there is a striker I don't want to play against, is a striker like Delap.
Yeah,
he's so fast. He's so physical. Have you seen the way Delap pushes defenders when he's looking to counter? He's moving fast. He's throwing defenders off. He wants to kill them.
Exactly.
It's fast football. Why are you playing like that? And the way he's so fast. I want you to see Delap this season. I'm really hoping you see Delap this season when he's counting. He's similar to the way Haaland looks to counter. Haaland also counters in a very lethal way. You can't stop him.
No, but Delap is like on crack. Sometimes.
No, but
like he'll just at you.
Where is Mr.
Like-
Stats guy there about Haaland from last season? Haaland is another one went off the boil. Let's not lie. Haaland he's I don't know what happened to him last season, but he's not the same Haaland he was in the first season. His trajectory has been going downwards. Let's
He
not
had
lie.
an injury.
I
He
agree
had
with
an injury. He had an injury for long
100%
periods of time.
agree with you.
But he
No,
had
but
an
like,
injury.
guys, come on. You're talking about a striker who by the way, when he's down, still scored 22 goals. Like, come on.
What have you? But still, what have you done for me lately? Is what is it is a bit like Cole Palmer. What have you done for me lately?
He
Scored
scored
two
two
goals.
goals. Yeah, he
One from
scored two
outside the
goals
box
already.
as well, right?
Yeah, I think he's probably at the top striker. He's the
Yeah,
top
bro.
player now. Yeah, for goals.
Imagine
now.
your worst season being 22 goals. Like, come on,
Yeah.
that's how you know you're a class.
And Jackson, your favorite striker, did not get more than 11 goals.
Yeah, but how many chances? How many chances does Haaland get in Man City? That
How many
fantastic
times
Man
does
City team.
Jackson get? Come
He
on.
gets, if he's lucky, one a game, half a chance a game. If he's lucky,
No.
yeah.
Bro, come
If he's lucky, the guy does so much hard work. He's tired from all that running for Cole Palmer.
Nah, man.
What-
If
what-
Jackson
what-
is 2 on goal,
No.
I'm ready to bet that he's going to
Simon,
pick.
Watege is not totally wrong on what he's saying. If you watch the performance of Haaland from his first season to now, is not improving.
Obviously, you can't improve on 36 goals, bro. That's a lot to ask.
You see, there's one thing
Okay,
that people don't
go
get.
to the previous season. You
see, Isaac, one thing that people don't get is that Haaland did an abnormality.
Yeah.
6 Premier League goals is an abnormality. It is not the norm. The norm
He
is
broke the
22
record,
goals,
bro.
23 goals, 25 goals. The same way Salah scored 29 goals last season and had 18 assists. This is something that you're not going to see even in the next 10 years. You're not going to see a forward who's going to meet those numbers. So these are abnormalities. Haaland it's not like Haaland is going to score 25 to 27 goals a season. That's a good season. Last season he failed. Last season he was out because he had injury. I think last season he missed like around 2 months without because he had injury. I think that is.
And he still got 22 goals. Imagine.
And he still got 22 goals. So if he played at least even 5 games in those 2 months, he would have had 27 goals.
I can come with you. I'll come with you. I'll come with you with a crazy argument. I know you're probably going to think, what? My argument here, okay, is Man City. Since the arrival of Haaland, Man City became a worse team.
They won the treble.
Because, yes, that first season, yes. But since then, because Pep had to change his system to accommodate Haaland. And the system they had before, Man City was so much more dominant than when Haaland came, where they had to change the system and play with him there. I just still think Man City was better without Haaland there.
But when they were having that system, they never won the Champions League. Then when they had Haaland, they won the Champions League and they won the treble. And last season is the only season where Manchester City were poor, but Manchester City have been in transition because Pep did not phase out the older players fast. He did not phase out Gundogan, he did not phase out Walker, he did not phase out Ederson, KDB, and that is what created problems for them. And that is what made players like KDB actually struggle last season. But you see, if Pep, after that treble, he would have faced them out. Now, this season, we can judge. If Manchester City failed this season, then we can say that Pep has ruined it. But Manchester City are in transition.
All the goal of Haaland this season.
You will get tired. He will score so many goals.
He will not score more than 22 goals.
I agree.
Why is that a bad thing? That's a good thing. That's a bad thing.
I don't know, but I don't know. So, what about? Okay, another question. So, if Tottenham gets Eze, are they going to be toxic?
What do you mean toxic?
Top six.
Oh, top six.
Toxic, not top six. Toxic as
in.
I
got it right.
As poisonous.
It's
I mean,
Tottenham. Tottenham. You know, it's Tottenham.
What do you mean is Tottenham?
It's
bro, we
only
beat them
one
every
team.
year. Yeah.
It's the only team that can be 2-0 up in the 86th minute, then fail to win a cup. It's the only team that can have the first, it can save a penalty in a penalty shootout and have
Oh
one
my
chance
god.
to score and win the trophy and then miss that chance. You know, it is Tottenham. It is their history.
And
So
like, bro, every year you go to Tottenham, you get 6 points for free. So like, I'm not really worried.
I don't know. I think they have a good
This
manager.
season it's not going to be easy.
They have a
No,
good
no, no. We
manager.
are going to beat them. We are going to beat them.
They have a good manager. They have a good manager. This guy is not naive. He's a very good tactician. I think he knows when to park the bus. He knows when to attack. I think this
I
Tottenham,
agree.
they look pretty. They look decent. They do get Eze up front there. I think this
Pretty
Tottenham
scary team. Yeah.
is no more laughing matter. But their defense looks a bit wishy washy. But
I feel like
apart from
they will beat us this year. I think like the days like this year will be like their one-time victory. So I think they'll get one game over us.
No, no. Unless we have injuries, no, it's not going to happen. Okay, but I think this manager is very good at being pragmatic.
Yeah, very good.
But it all depends on our lineup. If we have a strong lineup, we can beat them.
But
And
if
it
we
will
have
also
Jackson up
depend.
front, bro, oh my god.
And it will also depend the form that Chelsea are in. You know, one thing about Chelsea also is that I'm scared about is that this league can turn to be a bad league because of the Club World Cup. You can just find
Yeah,
that this is the league
fatigue.
where the players are just tired. So you find
Yeah.
that we are unable to win games. There's also that banana skin about this league that I fear.
And you saw that in the first game,
And
I
the
think, with the way some of
consequences
the players'
Maresca
touches
could be
were being
sacked.
taken. No, go on.
The
Yes, Isaac.
consequence of the consequence of that effect of Club World Cup, Maresca could be sacked.
Yeah,
I don't
that's
think they
actually.
might sack him
No, I think what he means is like because we put
because
all our eggs in that basket, he could have a bad season and cost him his job.
no, it can't cost him his job. I don't think it can cost him his job.
what's been said in the comments section where I can't read the comments.
Caicedo, blonde hair, yellow card is the most dangerous. Estevao must start on Friday. Simons, Rogers, Garnacho will be attacking squad depth. They're not squad depth. Simons is coming to take up somebody's position. In fact, there's one player I just want into this team is Simons. Palmer will need a bench sometimes. I think
Yeah.
it will reach a point where we'll have to tell Palmer, just relax. And that's why I want a player like Simons who can come in and handle the creativity.
Guys,
I think
another
Palmer will be
question.
fatigued. I think we need also Lavia to be fit this season. I really don't understand what's wrong with him. He also needs to be fit because he also needs to give Caicedo some space. Caicedo played 38 games last season in the Premier League. He played the Club World Cup almost all games. He's also one player who's Kukurea is also another player who can get extremely tired this season.
I was gonna bring up that. My
Enzo,
other point is like if
Enzo, another one.
we
Yeah, Enzo
but
also.
guys, I
Enzo, it
have a
has also
question.
shown
If
in the
like
first game. Enzo has been pathetic. He was so bad again in preseason and
he's
against
touching
Crystal Palace.
off, yeah.
Yeah.
But like guys, if we have Hacho, right? And we don't have a center back, we know Hacho can play there. Do you guys think we can just slot him in at center back sometimes?
Maresca chose Achimpong over him. Oh my
Yeah,
God,
okay, I
I
think
will
that
leave
says enough.
And he's
Achimpong.
right.
I will not
And he's
mention
right.
his name. I will not mention his name.
Yeah, let's not.
Hey, we're just having fun here. Come on, it's nothing. We're all friends, so there's no It's no,
No, no,
it's
no.
no
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. You'll think
You
like
guys
I
said
have an agenda. You might even click.
no, come on. We're just having fun. Come on. Let's
you
be
guys
honest.
said Tyrone's so
Wedeke can
stressed. He
say,
removed his glasses, bro.
I think Wedeke is somewhere related with Jackson, or he's friends with him. Or Jackson follows him on social media.
I'm not even from West Africa. I'm from Southern Africa. So
Yeah, but you might have probably met him in your travels.
no, never. No, I just find I just like his work ethics. I like his story. I like where he's come from, his path, his journey, and how far he's reached and where he's going to go. But I just think that it's sad that he's made it to the top, and then suddenly all the fans here, nah, get rid of him, get rid of him. No.
I think he'll do
Maybe
well at Villa.
if there's one thing I agree with you, it's about the Jackson story.
Yeah,
Coming
it's beautiful.
from Africa and getting that at a young age, it's okay. No, there is a way that African players they play with the years of play. It is the truth. This is the truth. Like if I live here and I'm going to
Yeah.
play for Chelsea, I'm 20, 21. I have to reduce my years. So Mane also did that. That's why you saw Mane. He was 29 and he was like, I cannot play in the Premier League. Let me just go and eat some money in Saudi. You realize there is one thing. Even Wanyama, who was a Kenyan here, he also the age.
Really?
Yeah, these players do that when they go to play in Europe. They change the age so that they can play.
So Tyrone, let me ask a very
Jackson might be older. Huh?
if I may ask a small question. So
Yeah.
Sunderland just signed, is it 9 players from Africa? What's going to happen with the Africa Cup of Nations when they will be missing half a team?
Even Manchester United will be missing a sizable chunk of their team.
How many players do they have from Africa?
Mbeumo, Onana,
Hamad.
Hamad.
They have
That's three.
But you've said Sunderland lacks how many players? 9.
I think 9. I think they signed 9.
What?
They are getting relegated. I'm telling you, they are going down. They will go down. Let them rack up the points. They will go down when I start. They will go down.
They signed 9. Was the all from, I can't remember, from different countries. 3 from the same country, but otherwise they're all from all over. So obviously they must have been pretty. They obviously can't have that much money, so they found the cheapest and the best solution they could find. So they've gone. Obviously, they must have some very good scouts all over the show. And they're not going to be like they're not going to do like Chelsea, pay 50, 60 million or whatever for players. And think, I know. What if we go down? Then what? And then we have this big wage bill, and then the problems start. And then you're back up and down.
I think that is what finished Leicester. Leicester. They had too good players on high wages, and then when they went down, they couldn't sustain them. And that's why they have been struck by FFP.
And they won't be. And Leicester, I just don't see them coming back. Normally teams drop down and they bounce back up. I just think Leicester, this time, they won't be doing no Houdini and coming back straight away. I don't know. Sometimes, you can do that once too often, and then suddenly it catches up to you. Look at a team like Nottingham Forest or Birmingham or whatever, these teams which drop down into the first division, and we never heard from them for 30 years. Nottingham Forest, 30 years they tried to get out of that division. They talk about Nottingham Forest. They've gone back to spending ways. You see how much money they spent in the summer buying players. They bought a new team bus again. The guy there. And I
think the clubs are so scared about relegation. There's even a time where Arsenal was performing so poorly and Leicester was actually doing well, and people are even starting to think that has Leicester replaced Arsenal in the top 6? I always say one thing about these top 6 clubs. No matter how poor they are too good to go down. Even Manchester United and Spurs, they just smelled relegation last season, but they never went down. Those are teams that you'll never see them getting relegated. Chelsea, Manchester City, Liverpool, Arsenal. Even if they reach a point where they are almost getting relegated, they will sack the manager and get whoever they have to get to so that they can stay up. Even if it is picking Mourinho from Fenerbahce and telling Mourinho just come and put a bus and ensure that we rack up 6 points.
Yeah, but I don't know. But even could you imagine Man United or Tottenham getting relegated? That'd be disaster for the league financially.
That'll be funny, bro. That'll be funny.
It'll be disaster for the league financially.
I would like to see one top 6 team get relegated in my lifetime, but not
Arsenal.
When is that ever going to happen?
Like last season, if you look at the German Bundesliga, not this last season, the season before, the first division, they call it the first Erste Bundesliga, was actually more exciting than the actual Bundesliga itself, because there was about 8, 9 traditional big teams, all the biggest teams in Germany, all in the first division, while in the Bundesliga, you had all the small Mickey Mouse teams. Nobody really knows and has any fans, so there was more people watching the first division they were the Bundesliga, because all the big teams were there, and all the big teams with the big tradition, big history. We've never been relegated. We were founders of the league, blah, 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 all that nonsense. All got relegated. Köln, Hamburg, whatever, Schalke, all these big teams were in that first division, and they were massive, massive crowds. But of course, Hamburg got promoted finally. They got relegated. Spent almost 8 years. The founding team of the Bundesliga was 8 years in the first division. They thought, we'll bounce straight back. There's no such thing that you're guaranteed to bounce straight back, because
it's not usually easy, because when you go down, you think that it's easy, you're just going to beat this team, and then you find that those teams the league is tougher there, like the Premier League, so you're even struggling to rack up those points.
Yeah, because
it's crazy because Hamburg was the Champions League, bro, as well.
But the problem is that if you let's just say we'll take Scotland. So let's say when Glasgow Rangers got relegated or they demoted because of financial whatever, every away game they played, the home team, for them it was like the cup final. They played their best football they played in 15 years because the big team had arrived. And this is the problem you have when you're a big team, you get relegated. Every single game you play is a terrible dogfight, and you have to excel. You can't just think, we're a good team, but relegated. We don't really have to. Mentally, you have to be there 105%, because the other teams, for them, it's their biggest game of the last maybe 10 years or something. And that is why it's so hard to get back up once you're relegated, when you're a big team.
One example is Leeds and Aston Villa. Aston Villa, it's a big team, and Aston Villa went down.
Yes.
And they have a Champions League also.
Aston Villa went down, and then Leeds United was a very big team. It was even challenging Chelsea. They also went down. You see the way Leeds have struggled. They come. In fact, it took them like 20 years for them to come back with Bielsa. Then once they came back, they stayed like 2 seasons. Then they got relegated, and now they're back. Look at Sunderland. Stoke City went. We don't even know where Stoke City is.
Police. Cold night. What's that expression?
Cold night away at Stoke.
Can you
do it? That was the best expression ever. And but they're finished. I don't even know what division they're playing in Stoke. Are they?
I mean, Arsenal are basically a glorified Stoke, so they're in the Premier League.
Even Queen's Park Rangers has never come back.
Wow.
Oh my God, yeah. And they're our rivals, right? They're our West London rivals.
Yeah, they never came back.
Wow. You guys have very good memories. Wow. The Queen's Park Rangers. Wow, that is a blast from the past. I've even forgotten about Queen's Park Rangers.
They went down.
Even it took a long time before Ipswich came back.
Yeah, the Tractor Boys. Yeah.
But that was a fluke. It wasn't a fluke. Well, it's a bit like
I
have
think
you seen Luton? Have you seen Luton? How they've
Luton.
dropped?
Yeah, I was going to say
They're
Luton.
struggling. They just like drop from the league and they just suddenly bang, disappeared. Who was that other team which played from an orange uniform from? Was it Blackpool? Remember Blackpool made it to the Premier League? They just disappeared, from the face of earth, and nobody's ever heard from them since.
I've never watched Blackpool in my life.
But do you know that Newcastle got relegated? Recently,
Yeah, in 2016, right?
Yeah, they got relegated with this manager. This manager coached
Benitez.
with Benitez, and Benitez got them back up.
Yeah,
Was
well,
Newcastle,
they were in a bad position.
yeah, Newcastle actually went. Even West Ham, I think even West Ham had been relegated, and then they came back.
No,
Yeah,
West Ham.
yes. Big Sam. Was it Big Sam who brought them back? West Ham.
Yes, just Big Sam who brought them
Yes, and then they fired him. They brought him back and they fired him.
Then they hired Pellegrini.
Oh, God,
Pellegrini was bad.
Yeah.
Right.
But I think West Ham is going to regret getting rid of David Moyes. Bad mistake.
Yeah, and I think even Wolves, if Wolves go down, oh my God, they're going to disappear. You see, there's one thing that Premier League teams have realized, that we need to spend and sustain ourselves up there so that the teams that get promoted, they go down. And the last 2 seasons, the teams that have been promoted have all gone down. Now, this season, Sunderland are looking like they don't want to go down.
Yeah.
I think Brentford, watch out for Brentford. I think they're going to struggle.
Yeah, I think they're going to go down.
Brentford, I think Brentford is going down.
Wait, guys, so what are your predictions then for the Big Six without bias? Remove your Chelsea bias. What do you genuinely think is the Big Six this year?
Let's start with Wedege. From 6th, start from 6th to first.
Big Six, okay. Let's see. I'm not going to give you any order. I'm just going to give you the Big Six. You asked who's the Big Six. You didn't say who were number whatever.
No, the order. Obviously, the order.
Oh God, this Phil. Okay, that's a tough one. I think Man City will win the league.
No.
Well, I know you asked.
You start from 6.
I start from the cream of the top of the cream. Okay, 5. Okay, 6. Okay, 6. That is going to be Aston Villa, or what's the other team there? That's Aston Villa, or maybe Nottingham Forest. No, they overperformed last season. So we're going to go Aston Villa. We're going to go Tottenham. We're going to go. So that will be Arsenal, Chelsea is going to finish 3rd. But who's going to be 4th? Arsenal will be 4th. Liverpool will be 2nd. Chelsea will be 3rd. Liverpool 2nd. Man City to win it. So that Man City, Liverpool, Chelsea, Arsenal. Who was the other one I said after that? There was Spurs, and maybe Aston Villa. Yeah, I think somewhere around there. That's my thinking on my feet prediction. I haven't really thought it through, but yeah.
Isaac.
Yeah, 6th position, we are same with Watege, Aston Villa. 5th position, Tottenham. 4th, Arsenal. 3rd, Liverpool. 2nd, Man City. And we're gonna win the league this season.
Okay. Wow.
Okay.
Mehdi.
I forgot what I wrote, but let me remember. 6th, I would give it to Newcastle.
I forgot about them. Wow.
6th, I would give Newcastle. 5th, I'd give Villa. 4th, I'd give Chelsea. 3rd, I'd give Arsenal. 2nd, Liverpool. 1st, Man City.
Now I want to give my opinion unbiasedly.
Okay.
Being so unbiased.
Okay.
Manchester United 6th.
Okay.
I think this season all the top 6 teams will occupy their position. So Manchester United 6th, Tottenham 5th. 4th place, I have Liverpool finishing 4th.
Okay, I can see that as well.
I have Liverpool finishing fourth. Then I think Chelsea will finish third. Manchester City second. I
No,
believe this is the year.
no,
Oh,
no,
no.
no,
What kind of Kenyan tea are you drinking? What the hell's wrong with you?
I think this is the year. I think this is the year that we are going to cry. I think this is the year.
Hmm.
bruh.
Okay,
I
let me
will stop.
just be
If
honest.
Arsenal win the league, I'll stop watching football.
You
I
see,
refuse. I
let
will
me
stop watching football.
let me say why. Let me say why I think it's their year. I think
Mhm.
they are the only team who are
Because of
so.
Gyökeres.
No, no, not Gyökeres. I think they're the only team whose defense is good enough to
Yeah,
hold the league, and I think they cannot fail to score at least a goal per game.
They have a good midfield. Don't forget their midfield.
They
Very,
also have
very
a
good.
very good midfield. Zubamendi and Rice are good. So
Merino, Odegaard.
yeah,
Very good.
I think
And
they're also probably the most experienced. I think their defense is probably the best. I think their midfield is good. Maybe if the attack fails to score goals, but if there's a
So
team that
Gyökeres will
is
fail
so
them.
built, if there's a team that is so built from the base, it's Arsenal. From the goalkeeper, Raya is so good. The two centre backs are superb.
the fullback are great.
If they can average one goal per game, that is Arsenal is that team that you know that if they score one goal, they are able to defend that goal.
Yeah, and they'll win the game probably.
Yeah, Manchester City, they are good. They
It's
will beat
Pep, bro.
Manchester City will beat the lower teams, but I think they might struggle against the top teams. They might struggle against Manchester United. They might struggle against Spurs. You see, people are talking about Manchester City based on their win. You see, Manchester City put five past Juventus. And everybody thought that Manchester City was going to slap us in the semis and find PSG in the Club World Cup, but they got beaten by Al Ahly and they looked so
Al
porous.
Hilal.
Yeah, Al Hilal. And even when I looked at their game against Wolves, Trafford saved them a lot.
Yeah, he did.
Trafford,
He did.
Trafford saved them a lot. So they still, and also we are not so sure whether Rodri will be available. If Rodri plays like 30 games this season, then Manchester City have a chance of winning it. But since he's back from a long-term injury, I don't think that Manchester City might have that number 6 who's going to hold that midfield for a long period of time. That's why I'm having them second. But when I look at Arsenal, I don't see any faults.
But Arsenal, they have this history of choking. So you keep forgetting. December, January, they're going to have a 3-4 games, maybe even 5 games where, for whatever reason, the gods decide it's Arsenal's time to suffer, and every season on cue. I don't know why it happens to them because they should have been champion at least 3 times, but for apart from that choking business, I don't know what is in the DNA, what is in the water of Arsenal, but they have that every single season. And in this Premier League, top 6, you can 2 losses is basically enough to cost you the league. And when
But
Arsenal,
yes, I get you. One thing that I also have to say is sorry for interrupting you. Um, Isaac might also be right, not just because I'm a Chelsea fan. If Chelsea are able to maintain, the only thing that can determine whether Chelsea can win the league is if they can maintain the defensive numbers. I'm not even scared about the attack.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
not
true.
scared about the attack because we will score goals. But what question me is that defense. You see, if Colwill was there, I'm telling you, I would be like Isaac. I'll be telling you that we are going to win it with 95 points because I saw the way Colwill was so important. But that defense, especially that position that Colwill plays, that is one reason why I'm discounting Chelsea. Number 2, fatigue. We
Yeah,
are going to get tired. We have played so many games, and it will all depend whether we sign Simons and Garnacho because we'll need to play a different 11. we'll need to play a different team because we'll not play Palma like all games. We'll have to give Palma rest. We'll have to give Caicedo rest. We'll have to give Neto rest. We'll have to give Kukurea rest. Rhys James is going to get injured at some point. You just know that it's coming. So that is the reason. So my question is, are these people who are going to feel for them good enough? I don't think Gusto can fill the hole for Rhys James. I don't think that Lavia or Esugo can fill the hole for Caicedo. I'm yet to see Simons play in the Premier League so that I can know if he can fill in for Palma when Palma is not there. Estevao can do a great job for Pedro Neto. Now, if Simons can come in and aid that creativity, then I'll be okay. But again, the defense, that is where my issue is. And when I look at all the teams, Arsenal is the team that shows me that Arsenal went to Old Trafford and won. If there's a team that can go to Anfield and win or even get a draw, it's Arsenal.
If I see Kai Havertz lift a Premier League title, I'm jumping off the roof. Like, there is no way that's happening, man.
You dislike
But like,
Havertz.
I don't. But like, okay, what about Champions League? What do you guys think?
I think that one is where Chelsea can actually have something to do.
I think Madrid take it this year, though, or Barcelona. I think it's going back to Spain.
I still think an English team will win it.
Really? Right, let's see.
But the Champions League is quite difficult. You never know. But I think if we are not going for the league, I think Chelsea might be good in that knockout competition.
I think this Chelsea team is a proper knockout team. It's
Yeah.
not. It's designed for cup competitions. Maybe not so much for the league. It's a team which excels, and it's even traditionally the Chelsea has always been good in cup competitions. Struggle a bit in the league. We blow hot and colds, especially against the smaller teams. We drop stupid points. So I don't know if they'll be there. I think the Champions is all about the draw. It all depends on the luck of the draw. The Champions League is all about the draw. If you've got to avoid the Real Madrid, you've got to avoid a Barcelona or Bayern München or PSG. Now suddenly even Liverpool. But if you can avoid those teams until like the semi-finals or something like that, then for sure you're in with a chance. But otherwise, the Champions League is brutal. And don't forget this new format with so many more games. That's league. They sort of like try to bring in the Super League through the back door with this new format. It's basically a Super League, but it's sort of like not trying to say it's a Super League, but it's like a watered down Super League. The problem is we've got too many of those Mickey Mouse teams which nobody wants to watch, and you've got some of the Dynamo Lokomotiv or something which somehow make it into the Champions League. It's like, really, I've got better things to do. I don't really want to watch that. I want to watch the big games in the Champions League. So when the first round is done, and then when it comes out knockout stages, that's when we start watching. Otherwise, other games are, come on, it's boring. And but at least with the Champions League, this is another issue I have with football currently, is that we now have, before you could buy one football package and you could get all the games. Now there's 7 different providers of football, so you've got to buy 7 different packages to watch the games. And the Chelsea games, whatever reason, they always put it on. And what's this one? Not Disney. Is it Disney Channel or something? It's called, not Disney. What's the other one? What's it called? Not Paramount. But there's another one. What's the other one? There's same one which shows all the this other one, the Conference League, and so you can't, if you don't subscribe to that, you can't see all the games. So then you're forced to do something which I don't want to mention on here on this live, but to watch the games. And I think I want to watch the games legally. I want to watch the games in a nice way. I don't need to have whatever. So, but this is another. They're getting a bit too greedy, and they want more money. and to watch this, to stream the games. And I think really at some point it comes to a breaking point. You can't keep siphoning off the fans. At some point you've got to say, enough is enough. But that's just my humble opinion.
Okay. I think we have done a long time today. Some people also need to go to their families.
2 hours 18 minutes, not bad. Okay, wow.
Yeah. So I think this is enough. So I'd really appreciate all of you for being here, and we look forward to do another live stream. Probably we hope that we win on Friday. So all of you, thanks. I think it's only Wadege who does not have my phone number.
No, I don't. But please do not put it in the chat, because then they will be able to be texting you.
No, I'm putting it on the private chat.
Okay.
And then you can text me when I'm about to go live. Then we can just hit you up. And
I apologize to the panel if some guys were wound up about Achipong. I apologize. And Jackson, sorry. So I didn't mean to ruffle.
No, it's not a problem. It's not a problem.
It's so cool, bro.
So just to bring some life into the chat, and but I still stand by my opinions, but I just didn't mean it to be provocative.
Okay. I sent you my number on the private chat. It's on the private chat.
How do I copy this one? Hang on, I gotta put on my glasses. I can't see anything here. There you go. Okay. Yes. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. So thanks guys, and we'll look to do more. Hopefully we can come here and laugh when we are in the top 4.
Very nice.
Yes, and we are praying for Isaac's prediction.
Okay. Of course. Thank you.
Okay. See you guys.
Take care.
Right.